ẹ̀gbọ́n mi gbòòrò Àlàní dèbẹ̀dèbẹ̀ ọ̀kọ́lọ́mọ olúayé mọ́rọ̀sẹ̀ gúgúrú àtẹ̀pà gúgúrú olóyin wọn èfi síbi jẹmí wọn kó síbi dànù ni wọn ń jẹmí rọ́ọ̀sì ọwọ́ ni wọ́n fi ń jẹ Àlàní dèbẹ̀dèbẹ̀ ọmọ yìí kò nígboro Àlàní dèbẹ̀dèbẹ̀.
All right, our producer will let us know when we're rolling. We rolling? Oh, he gave us the thumbs up.
Good on the things we can talk about, not talk about one of the.
So I did put that in the. Yeah, see here. Okay. There's certain questions out of respect I'm just not gonna ask.
Hey, you can ask whatever you want.
Okay.
Ask whatever.
No, because you know this. He gave that's the friend face. So I'm
no, for real. For real. You can ask for whatever you want. I was gonna say if my voice is a little rusty, it's because, you know what I'm saying, we coming from Sumfest for the Friday, Saturday.
How was
what
that?
day is today? Sunday?
Yeah, it's Sunday.
Yeah. What day is today? That's a good enough. You don't gotta answer how it was.
That's how you know Mans is working.
Yeah. It was wild though. It was dope. It was dope. The Friday night, you know, I was just there. No disrespect to the other artists, but I was just there to see Massacre and Vibes Cartel.
Oh no, I saw Massacre. Massacre had come for CJ Milan did the thing with Bounty Killer.
Yes,
and
yes.
I have a record with his son.
Yeah.
So we went to Barclays and it was great.
Nice.
I've never seen Massacre live before.
Nice, yeah. I mean, Massacre in Jamaica is a whole other experience, you know what I'm saying?
I need to start listening to you and Latrice more when it comes to dance on reggae. So
shout out excuse me, shout out to Latrice, yo.
Yeah, I saw her the other day. She popped out. You're gonna meet her. She's great. She's super dope.
No, that's the legend.
Yeah, she's super dope.
Yeah.
Talk about women that run shit in the business.
Mm-hmm.
That's the big issues. We are very happy to have you here.
Yes.
This is not just hip hop royalty.
Talk about it.
He is Canadian royalty.
Talk about
You
it.
know,
T-Dot.
The reason why British won't let go of the Commonwealth of Canada is because this man right here,
the official cardinal.
Yeah, literally.
The official cardinal.
He is the cardinal. The official.
That was good.
That was good. I saw what you did.
Yeah.
It's only because they haven't colonized me yet, so they still trying.
Yeah, it's crazy. They won't.
Still trying.
It's loading.
He's the Maroons.
Oh, that's what it is.
He's the Coromanti.
Okay, they can't make it happen.
They cannot.
No, but yes, thank you so much for joining us.
Welcome.
My pleasure. Straight out, like Bungie Garland says, straight off the jumbo jet, straight up.
Literally, Cardinal got off the plane and said, "We are en route." And we talk about someone that keeps their promises.
Yes.
This man has never broken a promise to me yet. One of the most solid people in the music business that I've been grateful to know, and known him for a very long time.
Yeah.
Cardinal Offishall, everyone.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
How long are you in New York for, by the way? You here for a short time?
You know what? Let me give you the joke.
Talk to me.
So remember I said we just came straight off the plane?
Yes.
About 5 minutes before we got here, I got an email that said, "You are now ready to check in."
Oh, wow.
24 hours, we're out.
That's amazing.
We appreciate getting a slice of the time then, for real.
No, you know what? I appreciate you guys, having me even on this small, this small window.
Oh, no. It works.
We've been trying to make this happen literally since whenever it was after the pandemic, but it was like before, like right after the world opened. It was like 2021.
The world opened?
I mean, we were still, the work
there's
had to.
There's a man trying to close the world down right now, but that's a story for another day.
He is orange.
That's a story for another day.
He's orange.
Anywho.
He said there can only be one orange. The sun must go.
Anytime I get across the border, I'm always like, yes.
Right. One more time.
That's right.
Listen, I came back from, what's it called? Antigua, and the taxi driver was like, "Did you have any issues coming?" I'm hearing on WhatsApp. I'm like, WhatsApp, got it. You're good.
It's crazy. Speaking of ice, he came here and blinded us all.
Speaking of ice, true.
This is all costume. I got it at the food line in Detroit.
You got a receipt?
That's crazy.
You got a receipt to prove that line?
No, when you put the little quarter in, you know what I'm saying, and it has the claw.
That's what it was.
No,
I
understand understand what's
clearly nice with the clothes.
I understand what's
I've
happening.
never met a person
His
that
taxes
one.
must be incredible. Everything's a write-off. This is
Right.
No.
No,
Tariffs.
tariffs. Finally, a man that actually
man is listening
understands
to
what
his
tariffs
accountant.
means.
He's
Tariffs.
listening to his
You know,
accountant.
dog, there might be a job for you at the White House. I don't know.
Let's move away from that. Please. So yes, we are happy to have you here. We obviously want to talk about your journey in music, your journey
Amazing.
being an icon from your city, and helping define the music we get out of Toronto and Canada as a whole.
Word.
Obviously, you're from Toronto, family's from Jamaica, and you're from Scarborough.
Born there, but
Born-
lived all over
Okay.
the city. So East End, West End, Uptown, Downtown, all of that.
Got you. So what is like, I've always want to know, like years back, what is the sound like? Is it heavily from the islands or is it the hip hop coming over from the States?
The sound,
Yes.
I don't know.
Growing
You
up.
know what? If I'm being like, we could do a whole pod just on the evolution of what the Toronto Sonics are. You know what I'm saying?
I want to talk about
When
that.
well, put it this way, when I was a kid growing up, I used to look up to the Dream Warriors, Maestro Fresh West,
Okay.
Mishi Me. These are like the foundation hip hop artists from Canada,
Yes.
all from Toronto,
Okay.
but also all of Caribbean lineage. You know what I'm saying? So it's like Maestro Fresh West, his lineage is Guyanese. Mishi is from Jamaica. And then the Dream Warriors, I feel like, are they Katisha? Are they from St. Kitts? Ivan Barry is. They might be Jamaican, but anyways, Caribbean lineage. Regardless.
Yeah.
So growing up for me, you have to think like I'm a little kid and I'm hearing like Mishi Me and KRS-One, like even before when it was still Boogie Down Productions, like you know, hearing them doing collabs growing up. And, you know, Mishi Me was one of the early adopters of, you know what I'm saying, like the whole hip hop reggae style, you know what I'm saying, at that time. So, you know, when we're thinking about it, this is like.
You did your first deal like 96, right?
Hell no.
Earlier?
No. My first deal, like I signed to MCA in 2000.
Oh, okay.
I signed to MCA in 2000. Now we had done a bunch of independent stuff just as kids coming up.
Okay.
With the circle? Gotcha.
Yep. So the circle, which is you know, includes people like Socrates, Shaw Claire, Julie Black.
Who he put me on to,
Marvel.
because I was asking about some of the artists that were like comparable to like the artists that we would name on the state side, and he was telling me how dope Shaw Claire was, and there were other folks in our circle that were like, oh, you gotta listen to Shaw Claire, go back to the freestyle.
But here's the thing, you know, shout out to Fuzzy. Fuzzy signed Socrates to Warner Brothers in 1995 when we were all literally still in high school and stuff. So it's like Sox was the first one to get a major deal out of all of us. And then Shaw Claire did a deal with Priority Records / Virgin. And then I was the next one to get a deal out of the crew. But it's like, you know, the crew was like, I don't know, you know, the numbers fluctuated depending on what was happening within the crew. You know how it goes.
Listening, the circle is the group you were in before you went independent.
Nah, the circle is like, it's like the circle is it was the crew, so it was comprised. It was a collective, yeah, exactly. Okay. Solo artists, duos, whatever, yeah. So, but yeah, Socrates was the first one to get a deal. Then Shaw Claire, then myself, in the year 2000. Yeah.
How was that like? Because the reason I asked this is because of the times we're in, right? Everyone has been speaking on the sound from different parts. And what is the defining sound? Obviously, there's a big part. There's the West Coast has its sound, the East Coast has its sound. When an artist comes out and he sounds like something, then the first thing they ask you is, who are you listening to, right?
Yeah.
But if you sound like where you're from, it's like, cool, you're rapping where you're from. But once you flip it a little bit, it goes slower, it goes faster, you rap about girls more, you rap about drugs more, you rap about gang more. It's like, where does that come from, right?
You know what? Toronto is such a diverse place, honestly, bro, that it's like
is it hard to like staple this is what a Toronto artist should sound like?
Kind of. I mean, here's the thing. We were always I think because we had, like, if you think about, and again, there's so many different groups that came up at the same time, came up before us. So one of the groups that I talked about earlier was the Dream Warriors, and those guys were foundation for us. But you got to think about it. Those guys were headlining, and Gangstar was opening up for them.
Oh wow!
In Europe back in the 90s.
Okay.
Jesus.
So those guys had a massive jazz influenced sound, right?
Okay.
But then you had on the flip side of that, you had Michie Me, that was like, you know, just a straight Jamaican, you know what I'm saying, who was spitting, and that's what, you know, that's why KRS and Scott LaRock, you know, why they were so magnetized by her style, you know what I'm saying, because she fit right in with KRS and the Heavy D's of the time and the Grand Poobahs and other people that were, you know what I'm saying, that were infusing what we call genre bending now, and fusion and all that. There wasn't really a name for it, you know what I'm saying? It was just like, we didn't really think about Grand Poobah as like, oh, he's putting dancehall in his stuff. You know, was just hip hop.
Yeah.
Same thing with KRS-One. We look at The Bridge Is Over, one of the, you know, arguably one of the greatest hip hop songs of all time. But if you look at that, it's like he was chatting patois the whole time. You know what I'm saying? And
like
then it's like
My Baby, like with Biggie. That was like one of the earlier examples of that fusion.
Right. But it's like, if you think about it, with The Bridge Is Over, that was a Super Cat bass line that they took. Boom, boom, scuba doom, boom, boom, scuba doom. That's Super Cat. So it's like, you know, for us in Toronto, you know, growing up, when we would hear that, we recognized it immediately, because it's like, for us, that's the type of music that our parents are listening to on a Saturday when we're cleaning.
So the callback was a lot easier.
Oh yeah. It's just easy. Like, all of a sudden we're like, oh shit, like, yo, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was just something that we did. Especially at those times, it was very organic. It wasn't something that we're like, yo, we're gonna do this thing and make it a thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, for me, my first is crazy. It's actually my 30th year professionally in the business. Like, my first, like the first piece of vinyl that I ever produced, my first 12-inch was in 1995, and I had sampled this Bob Marley song called Naughty Dread. And I just spelled it differently. For me, it was Naughty as opposed to
that's what I I didn't know that it was an independent release, but that's fire.
Oh yeah. And shout out to Sedella for not suing me. But anyway,
I was about to say, you got that. How you got that cosign?
Yeah, you must have been charming.
No.
You know, Bob Marley had mad kids, man. We got to run your bond.
No, you know what it was though? It was underground hip hop. You know what I'm saying? So it's like underground hip hop, even though at that time, like, it was really being distributed throughout the world. And it's like, you know, we were coming to New York, we were going to London, we were going to all the places, but it's like hip hop was the whole hip hop culture was very, very, very different than it is now. So it's like, now when you talk about, you know, underground MCs, you think about a Sonic more than you think about the energy and the lifestyle around it. Because we were really one of those people that were like, you know, neck deep in, you know, Stretch and Bobbito, Fat Beats, you know what I'm saying? Like, shout out to Clipse, shout out to, like, you know, Future Flavors in the West Coast, you know, Sway and Tech, like all that's what we came up on. You know what I'm saying? Like, we'd come into rooms like this, and it's like the only thing that we had in our mind is like, yo, we gotta murder everything, because they're looking at us like, who are these Canadians? You know what I'm saying?
And then you gotta go home, and it's like, how did you represent us when you was away?
Yeah, but you see the wild thing is that it's very difficult for people to even understand the existence, because now the only way that things, or that we recognize or accept that things happened, is if there's a timestamp on it and we can go back and point to it on social media or the internet. Like, this is at a time when it's like, if you talk to anybody from that era, you know what I'm saying? And it's like pretty much up until the advent of like social media and whatever. It's like, when we were, I know people say, yo, when we were outside, but it's like, when we were really out there living that experience, like, that is something that I think wasn't documented as well, just because we didn't have, you know what I'm saying, the tools that we do have now, you know what I mean? Like, everything is readily accessible. But at those times, it's like, we were really living it. And it's like, unless there was maybe a cassette You know what I'm saying? That
because you had to create a whole budget just for somebody to be running around with a camera and all that.
Everything was guerrilla.
Camera.
No,
Everything
that's
was
what
guerrilla.
I'm saying. It's like
Camera.
now you just pull out your phone and
they were recording
it yourself.
They were recording on Blackberries and Palm
Bro,
Trees.
here's what you got. Here's what you got to remember. Like those times, like when we were teenagers in the 90s and when middle school and high school and all that, a camera like it's thousands of dollars, bro. Like you know what I'm saying? Like people in the neighborhood didn't have a camera. You know what I mean? So it wasn't until much later, like how technology goes. Like as soon as it becomes mass produced and accessible to everybody, the price goes down, yada yada yada. So it's like later on we were able to do that, but it's like nah. Them early days, we did where we could, but it was really dope because it's like when we're performing at the Jazz Cafe in London for the first time, it's like you had to be there. You heard the legend of, you know what I'm saying? When we went and when we went to go see Sway in the Bay Area and we're in a room with 30 MCs, like, and I'm talking snipers, people that are just lyrically cutting your throat left, right, and center. You had to show up, you know what I'm saying? And you had to do your thing in real life. It wasn't today, unfortunately, where it's like a lot of what we're seeing now is just like people doing it to say that they did it for the clout as opposed to like really making people say, hey, you know what?
Yeah,
those guys are the guys.
I imagine back then it was like you had to put up or shut up, and people would know that you had a certain prestige about you, and they were going there to like get some clout off of just
booed out of the room. You know what I'm saying? I'll give you a quick story. One of the first times, like when we went to go see Greg Street in Atlanta.
Shouts to Greg Street.
And I remember I had the flu the day, but I'm a soldier. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm thugging. I'm not gonna not go to see Greg Street, but I never met him. And I remember we walked into the room, you know what I'm saying, where he was doing his thing. He was at the boards. He didn't even look up.
Wow.
He's like, oh, y'all from Toronto? I'm like, yeah. He literally put in a call to one of his guys that I guess, you know what I'm saying, to verify. And he's like, yo, I got this kid Kardinal in the studio. And he was on speakerphone. And because he's like, oh man, you got the guy. That's the guy. Yo, you got Kardinal in the studio.
The North got something to say.
That's crazy.
The North got something to say.
Yo, so what's wild is he hung up the phone with the dude, and then he looked up, pressed record. He's like, Greg Street, blah 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 blah, and went right into the show. But it's like it's almost like he wasn't gonna give me my shot unless, you know what I'm saying, like he did his verification.
There's no follow.
It was a different time.
No, there's no
follow. You couldn't fake the funk. You had to earn your stripes.
1,000%.
Completely different.
Very different.
If you got a good following or you got to dance on TikTok,
they got 4 million followers.
It's different. Like
they rapping about poop.
Right. If there's a dance
sign them right now. Take it to the office right now. Basically, they got 1 million TikTok views per hour.
What else you need is monetization now.
Then they get the deal and it's crickets.
Yeah.
The poop dance was popping though.
That's crazy. You liked it. I seen it.
Right.
You liked it.
It was a little
crazy. I wanted to ask you because I feel like there's certain rappers that we've talked to certain artists that here that went to like one high school in Brooklyn or Queens or the Bronx, and it was like the high school where Busta and Nas and Jay and Nicki and all of them came out of one high school in their respective borough. Yeah. Was there something like that in Toronto or Scarborough? Where it was like everybody went to that school. There was ciphers happening.
It's not quite that crazy. Where like I heard about that high school where Busta and them went, but it's like I went to a couple of high schools, but the one that I graduated from was West Toronto. People like Ice went there. You know what I'm saying. In the East, where Shaw Clear and them went, like they went to a place called Pope John Paul. So there was like if you went to Pope. Or if you went to Mother Teresa, like there's the thing in Toronto, there's a lot of legendary schools, you know what I'm saying? So some for ball players, some for rappers or whatever. But I think for us, the rap culture and the way that we moved around never really revolved so much around high schools. You know what I'm saying? It's like, sure, like in your school, you would rock and get into ciphers with people in your school. But I think when it came to battles, it's like, it was always, at least the ones that I was in, it was always like citywide joints. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, so many different, Jones and Jones, rest in peace to Denise, like Jones and Jones would have a talent competition, or the Jamaican Canadian Center, or Live at the Barbecue. Shout out to DJ X, where it's like you would go to Live at the Barbecue, and it's like basically you'd line up, during like while the party is happening, you'd line up next to the stage. And it's like, if you could get past Big
Isn't
C.
it like an epic freestyle that was like Live at the Barbecue that everybody talks about? Like an epic hip hop.
I mean,
freestyle?
so there's Live at the Barbecue, the song, you know what I'm saying,
Nas,
with
right.
Nas
That's what
and
I'm
Main
thinking of,
Source
yeah.
and all those cats. But there was a party in Toronto that they named after the
the
song
song.
called Live at the
Okay.
Barbecue, and
That's-
that was for us. That was
So people would line up to freestyle.
yeah, like when you're
Showtime at the Apollo type.
yeah, kind of just on a very, very like
More
grassroots, grimy.
So if somebody was trash, what did the process?
People
look
got
like?
food thrown at them, all types of shit, yo. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I think
That's why I'm always shocked when people think Toronto is soft.
I don't know, yo. The only people that could ever think that have probably never been there, or just judge that off of a couple people they know about Toronto.
Correct.
You would
Because-
you would
and
never.
you've been.
No, yeah, multiple.
No,
times.
I would say you would never speak to, like, at least from my era. I can't speak about now.
Oh
Now
no,
just
it's
different.
still wild.
But it's like it's still wild. But what I'm saying is, it's like
It's a different kind
every
of wild.
single artist, all my heroes that have ever been to Toronto, everybody knows what it is. So it's like you got to think about, in Toronto, we had a legendary place called the Concert Hall. And the Concert Hall is where all, anybody from LL Cool J, Big Daddy Kane, Biz Markie, Roxanne Shante, like that's where it went down back in the days. You know what I'm saying? So it's like Concert Hall, they had Monster Jam there, like a lot of, like a lot of different wild things used to go down. And it's like, for you to be an artist coming from anywhere, to be able to survive a Toronto crowd, you'll be good, because Toronto is used to be one of the most difficult audiences in the
I
world.
could imagine you have Caribbeans.
I think it's still kind of like that, but I only say that because
I feel like it's changed.
it's improved. But I feel like a lot of the artists, like there's a few artists that we've worked with from Toronto. Shout outs to Toby. There's a few of them, and they always talk about how the local support is still kind of like, it's hard to rally. It's sometimes challenging to rally
Like,
the community,
yeah,
because
but-
nobody wants to really work with each other. It seems like they're all like, there's like a bunch
You
of
know
But
what?
then there's like
competition.
but there's also a super sun right in the middle of it, right? So I think it's difficult. So I think you have to rally around the sun, which is good and bad, right? Like if you pass it, then
It depends on who you ask.
get
I've heard that side, and I've heard people that
No,
vehemently
because-
disagree with that. I don't think they
because-
see that as a super sign.
Yeah, because I feel like everyone's fighting for that attention, right? Because that it's a big win to get a song with like the biggest artist from your city. So I feel
Okay.
like
I
in
see
the
I see
cloud-
your side.
yeah, in the clout and following and all these, because you get a feature from Drake, it's like, you know what I mean? Like I feel like that might be the thing. I don't know, but I feel like that
I think there
makes
was
sense.
definitely, and this is again an opinion, I think there was definitely a period in time where that I would agree with you. But I think prior to a certain season and now, I don't think that that's as strong as an argument. But
So when
he's from the scene,
because
so
I'm
he
sure
could tell
people
us.
were fighting to have features with you, right? Like
No,
no, you don't think
it's
so?
and you see, it's just a different time. You know what I'm saying? Because if you look at it, for me, I've had so many collaborations with different people, but it's just I don't know what Drake's mindset, what his mindset is, and not in a bad way.
Yeah,
But it's like,
no.
me and him collaborated. Me and so many different people from the city collaborated, but you have to understand it's also a different time. Think about it like this. When I came out in 2001, with Bacardi Slang, Old Time Killing, all that stuff. Old Time Killing was a collaboration with me, YOK, another group called IRS. But it's like, I didn't do the collabs based on like if somebody, had what the equivalent of a massive following or whatever. Like at that point in time, I was down to rock with anybody as long as they were dope. So that's why you have me, having done songs with anybody from those guys that I mentioned to Kanon, to Chaos, to Socrates, to Point Blank, to Concrete Mob, to, so many different people. And that's just because my mindset was one to where it's like, it was in true collaboration, you know, type of a spirit. You know what I mean? To where I'm just like, yo, you're dope. Yo, I'm gonna give you a shot and rock with you. You know what I'm saying? And to be completely honest, like even the first collaboration that me and Drake did, the first one was, you know, he had come. I had met him or heard about him through my boy Rodala, who was part of the circle at the time, and he was a massive. Like this is before anybody knew who he was on the rapper side. And he's like, yo, this kid is super dope. Like he was freaking out. And I was like, all right, yo, tell him to come through. Yeah. And he had this song called The City Is Mine. And I remember, you know, we kicked it in my studio, and then I ended up, you know what I'm saying, like hopping on the remix. And you know, that was one thing. And then we did another song called The Last Hope on the Comeback Season mixtape. And you know what I'm saying? Like at those times, it was just because it's like I thought he was super dope. And, you know, at that time we rocked, and, you know, it was just very organic. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't because he was this guy who was popping or whatever. Because to be completely honest, people didn't know him as a rapper. People knew him as he was on Degrassi. Correct. You know what I'm saying? At that time, that was the main thing that people knew him for. But I think that's kind of like been my story and my legacy. And something that I love is the fact that till this day, you know what I'm saying, I still collab with anybody from any generation, just as long as you dope. To me, it's always music first. You know what I'm saying?
Are there any like Toronto artists that are like, let me not say up and coming, but are there any Toronto artists that you like, you kind of
fans of? Yeah,
like you're like listening to now that you think are super dope?
Absolute. Now here's the thing: when we talk about listening to, it's unfortunately very difficult for me to listen to anybody for more than 2 or 3 plays. You know what I'm saying? It's just that to me, the music that is coming out from most people doesn't have the energy and the spirit that resonates with me. So it's like I listen to something, I'm like, oh man, that's fire. And then that's that. Because I'm just like, yo, why am I not going back to this album? I'm like, because there's no spirit in it.
Yeah, I feel like there's a formula everybody has now.
I think, you know what? I think they're looking for the formula. And I think
that's partially the issue because they're looking for the formula instead of creating the formula.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's, you know, listen, you have to understand that, like, when we talk about, you know, my career, I've gotten to open up for like the super OGs. Like I've opened up for Outkast, for Beastie Boys, for Run DMC, for Busta, for, you know what I'm saying? Like literally like some of the biggest artists on the planet, you know what I'm saying? I've got to either work with them, do shows with them, whatever. And it's like, you know, when I think about the level of talent that I've been not just exposed to, people that became my peers, you know what I'm saying? Like, I remember the first time I met 50 and he's like, yo, he came up to me, you know what I'm saying? Because he was like, yo, I fuck with that all time killing. That shit. And you know, industry people, they say shit. But I remember like at the time we were at this conference called the Mix Show Power Summit, which was one of the best things in existence.
Great in its time. It was great.
My God. And I remember like 50 was there for the weekend, and it's like I ran into him like 4 or 5 times, and every single time he stopped me and we had a conversation. And this is peak height, you know, get rich or die trying.
When he moved to Connecticut.
And he's like, yo, I'm gonna take you on tour with me. And I'm like,
sounds nice.
Sure. Right. Yo, but it's like I've been on tour with him, I think twice.
That's amazing.
You know what I'm saying? It's like I remember he took me on tour with him. Young Rihanna, you know what I'm saying? Like we were on the road with Fifth. And you know, Fifth is always like
another person, man of his word. A
man of many words, but a man of his word nonetheless.
He doesn't break a promise. That's
no,
one thing I know about Fifth.
And it's one of them ones where it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like even with Fifth, it's like I remember when he was filming the movie, I remember it was Easter, and you know, pause on the fact that I'm just trying to give you the visual without making it weird. But it's Easter Sunday, and I didn't go to church with the family. You know what I'm saying? I was inside the crib in my boxers, wife beater, whatever, and I get a call from my lawyer, and they're like, yo, Fifth wants to come to your house and use your studio. And I'm like, it's Easter. Like, what are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? They're like, yo, he really needs a spot. He wants to record, whatever, some joints. I'm like, all right, whatever. And I'm still living in the hood at this time, you know what I'm saying? And he pulls up, there's like 4 or 5 SUVs. He hops out, bunch of security. And the funny thing is, it's like, our neighborhood, like Easter Sunday, bro, like, you're fine, especially where I lived. It's not like there was a lot of eyes. Like I had Toronto is diverse. So it's like, there's different people everywhere, but it's like, if you came to my house, you'd be able to like dip in and dip out.
So that's what I'm saying. Knowing Fifth, he probably like, because you guys already had rapport, he probably looked at you like, oh, this is someone that values their safety, values their security, and isn't hot. So listen, if I'm gonna be in this person's city, if there's any person I want to record with, is the person that I know is gonna be low. And be in a safe enough space where I can be in and out.
This is in the home studio, bro.
Yeah.
This is not like I own the studio out there. Like
he trusted a man with your character, and that's why.
Yeah. So it's like, it was a dope Sunday because I remember, he came and recorded some songs, and one of them ended up being a mixtape joint that I put out on, might have been Who Kid, but this joint called Officer Down or whatever that me and him did. And
you was out here dissing Rick Ross too? That's crazy.
I'm
joking.
No. This is pre Rick Ross. He was beefing with Fat Joe at the time. Though.
Oh wow,
he definitely was. Like 50's a different youth.
It's crazy because 50's timelines. Who was he beefing at that point?
It's like, okay, he beefed all of Queens, then he beefed Ja Rule, then.
But I'll tell you this, Joe.
Get a Quran.
But one of the most authentic people I've ever met in my life.
So I grew up in Connecticut. So when Fifth moved to Connecticut, I was interning at Hot 93.7, which is the radio station. A 10-minute stone throw from from where he moved, and it was Mike Tyson's old crib.
Yeah.
So when MTV was doing all the docs and stuff, I was fortunate enough to be able to go to the crib.
Oh, that's crazy.
I'm exaggerating, but it's like 100 bathrooms and like 40 bedrooms. It was one of the biggest cribs I've ever been to in my life, and it was literally just a whole bunch of G-Unit dudes running around everywhere doing random stuff. And one of the most humble, nicest, focused businessmen that I've ever been around. We were all surprised that he decided to move to Connecticut, but in hindsight, it makes sense why he's like wanted to be close enough to New York, but not
away from everything.
Yeah, but that's great, man. Just even having that history with him, I'm sure that that actually leads me to another question. Have you ever considered doing like any on-screen stuff, because he has the G-Unit film stuff, Power, obviously?
I mean, TV and film has always been interesting for me because it's like I don't do anything unless I can, let's say, dedicate 100%, at least dedicate 80% to it. You know what I'm saying? So I have done cameos in various movies throughout the years. You guys probably know, but maybe some of your listeners don't, that the last 4 years I've been a judge on Canada's Got Talent with Howie Mandel. Shout out to Shania Twain and Catherine and them. So, the TV thing has been dope. And then also, I'm just working behind the scenes on some TV development stuff. So, I mean, I think it's, like,
we're manifesting more Cardinal 50 collaborations on screen.
It will be dope. Fifth, holler at me, or next time I see you, what I'm saying?
It's gonna happen. Watch, it's gonna be a callback.
Show you something.
And that would be nice to see you diversify more on screen stuff. That'd be fire.
Yeah. No, you know what? I love I actually love doing TV and film only because it brings me out of my, not even comfort zone, but it's like music is muscle memory. So if we're sitting here and like somebody was like, hey, yo, Kardi, such and such is at MSG right now and we need for you to go rock a set, I'm out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just something, I'm just going to go do it. Whereas TV and film, you still get, the jitters, the butterflies, you know what I mean? Because it's still something that you got to work at, something that you don't necessarily know the outcome. And I'm not saying that every single time you do music, you know what the outcome is, but it's like you're way more comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Whereas I love that energy of like, you do the thing, you're not sure how it's going to go. And then at the end of it, you know what I mean? Yeah. It's really two different beasts. And for those people that think, these musicians, they just go from music to TV or film. It's a totally different beast.
Yeah, that'd be really interesting. Like an entourage for like the music business, but like the Toronto scene, because we've heard the narrative of how Weeknd got on, we heard the narrative of how you got on, we heard the narrative of how Drake got on, but to see someone like act that out would be interesting.
Yeah, no, it definitely would be crazy.
Yeah. There's also a lot of rappers in the UK that have transitioned to on screen a whole lot. It seems like there's a wave, like Kano, Gets.
But those guys, no disrespect to the Toronto guys, but those guys
British
are
actors.
incredible actors,
British
bro.
acting is different. I feel
Yo,
like it's something.
But you know
something
what
in that
though?
calcium water they serve you.
Idris and those guys, they
'Cause they don't
told
have
me
AC,
though,
so
like
they're
it's
naturally hot.
AC,
They don't have
lack of
AC,
an
so
But-
they're naturally hot.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
But they
They
never.
open up the windows.
Man's never
Mans
hot.
can never be hot, fam.
Got you,
You
got
guys
you.
are crazy.
Shout out to Big Shaq.
No, they all really good at acting though. It's
No, but you know what? It's the same way that, like, if you know about live musicians, you know that Philly has some of the best live musicians in the world, because
Philly has some of the
culturally
best
that's just
musicians
what
in
it
general
is.
in the world. Yeah.
So it's the same way that in London, it's like London acting is a really big thing for them over there. And that's why there's so many, they keep churning out so many incredible actors, because culturally it is just, you know what I mean, something that they hone in on and really just sharpen, you know what I mean, sharpen the steel when it comes to
Not
their
for
craft over there.
because whenever Americans do British accents,
It's horrible.
right.
Terrible.
But whenever British people come and do their accents, I'm like, Damson Idris.
Dog,
People were
if I didn't know,
shocked.
if we didn't know some of these people in real life, you would actually think that these
Believe
people
they're
were from
American.
Shocked
where
the
they
shit
are.
out of me when, like, listen, I'd known Idris since the Wire days.
Dog.
So
When you hear Idris
when I met
He's
him,
British.
when I met this man, and I'm like, how is this man from the Wire?
Cardinal, huge fan of you, man. Huge fan of you,
What
bro.
is that?
Crazy,
Huge fan of you, bro.
insane.
I'm about
but-
to DJ tomorrow. Come see me spin. We just launched a house label. Come see us on the rooftop.
But you know
And
what?
here's an American with a British accent.
Which is horrible,
bad.
horrible.
So bad.
But yes,
So bad.
Horrible.
But
fam.
that's how we ended up becoming friends, because he had at the time one of my co-managers had worked at Atlantic Records, and he had his desk in the office, and Idris was going through Atlantic because he was at that time trying to get vinyl, you know what I'm saying? So he went to Atlantic to go get all the new releases, and he was walking by Mr. Morgan's desk, and he's like, "What do you know about Kardinal Offishall?" And Morgan was like, "What do you know about him?" He's like, "Yo, I'm his manager." You know what I mean? He's like, "Yo, I manage the guy," and that's literally how, you know what I'm saying, how we connected.
That's incredible. I didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know that he used to manage you.
Who, Mr. Morgan?
Yeah,
For 13
I had no idea.
years.
So for those that don't know, I know of Mr. Morgan because of his more recent clients.
Why you can't say he's the president of OVO?
A lot of people. I don't want to name drop, but yeah, he is the president of OVO. He's a super nice guy, but I don't. He's a very behind the scenes. So
Now.
yeah, he's very behind the scenes.
so that's why you didn't want to say that.
Yeah, I didn't want to just be like,
put his
oh,
business out.
No, yo, listen. So it's funny because Mayday used to co-manage me with Mr. Morgan.
That's
Nice.
awesome.
So
Yeah.
we
Shout out Mayday.
yo,
behind
we
the
used
camera,
to
by
we
the
used to
way.
Mayday
all,
the
we used to
legend.
be all the way outside.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? A lot of, especially when it comes to the States, Morgan, he used to write, can't remember what magazine, but like Morgan, he used to work records. He was very in tune and connected to the DJs and the radio world. So it's like we literally used to go everywhere and do all the things. you
And
know
the
what I'm saying?
blogs. Again, I met most of the folks that I've met, like when I was super young and trying to figure my stuff out, I was a blogger, and I would hit people up like Morgan, be like, "Yo, whatever distribution list you got, please add me to it."
Yeah.
And with him, Gavin, from the Remix Project,
Yes.
a few of them, they were just like really nice. I'm like, "Oh, like you're in America, boom, here." Like, so
Yeah, I mean, listen, Morgan's from Toronto, but the interesting thing about that is Morgan used to live at 560 State Street, and everybody
Brooklyn?
in Brooklyn and in Jay's building.
Wow.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so it's like, who used to live up there? Not Tata, was it Beehive? One of them. Anyways, those rock guys used to be, you know what I'm saying? They used to be in and out of there until whatever. Jay just went to a different
I didn't
stratosphere.
live at the Barclays Center. No, I'm just kidding.
But no, literally, like, so we used to be at 560, and it's like we used to be taking our vinyl and literally like thousands stuffing the vinyl inside the sleeves to send off to Japan, send off to London and wherever else in the world. So it's like, Morgan, there was another dude by the name of Saul Guy. They used to have a management company called Figure 4, and they used to live in that legendary spot in Brooklyn. So we used to spend a lot of time on that block.
I used to live across the street from there, and the crazy thing is, if you weren't a hip hop person, you wouldn't know the relevance of 560 Street
At all.
Street. The same way you wouldn't know, the street in the Bronx where everybody says hip hop was born, where Cork used to DJ in the park.
Yeah. Cedric
Avenue. Yeah. So that's dope though.
Yeah.
So since we're talking about UK rappers, I'm sure you've been hearing the discourse about the US rappers versus the UK rappers. So
Lyricism?
Yeah.
Or
So
are we talking the Clash?
okay, so for background, Skepta had tweeted randomly
About
that,
clashing.
there's he basically was saying that he's nice and he was trying to match up with someone in the US that he felt was at his level.
I think you're sugarcoating it a bit.
I'm being PC.
You don't have to be. Talk your shit. Or talk the shit he said.
See, but the thing is, I go to London a lot, so I got to be
okay.
very mindful. I don't want to look like I'm taking
wanna be
sides.
in the right ends.
They be really sensitive about that.
No.
Tunde, you are on fam. You are on blah blah blah. No, I'm neutral. I'm neutral party. So Skepta basically
Was that the English accent?
No. It was. This is. No. That is my.
Allow it.
Ambiguous. That is my ambiguous accent. You don't know where it's from. It's from outer space.
Okay, word.
It's from outer space.
Skepta basically starts the challenge. Joyner Lucas answers. Skepta goes, "Fam, respectfully, you are not.
Right.
You are not at the level that I was seeking. But
Yeah.
thanks for playing." And then
Joyner,
two rounds happened. Joyner apparently was bleeding in the first round, and then I guess it seems like Skepta set him up to destroy him in the second round.
Yeah, no, I don't know. Like I heard Joyner's then, and I wasn't really impressed. The first one, I was rooting for.
Yeah, this is not my
good
opinion.
clash.
This
No,
is
this
the
is-
opinion.
I am
of
not
the
in
group
the music
chat.
industry.
This is the group chat's opinion.
I could care less. Even though I do go to London, but I don't be in the ends.
It's okay.
But
Hey,
not like that's another
when your
country.
Oyster card,
No.
when your Oyster card stop working, you know what I'm saying? When you
that's
do
another
tap
country
to
too.
pay, and it's just damn.
England is another country that people think people are soft there. They are not.
Oh yeah.
They are
it's,
dog.
It's so crazy. So
I
crazy.
know. Yeah.
Every time I go there, I'm like point A to B and right back. There's nothing.
The people
for
that
me
make
out
fun
there.
of London that I know haven't spent enough time on, they're like, "Oh, guns
This
are illegal." I'm
haven't
like,
been there.
Yeah,
it's another
it's
thing.
like, yo, guns are illegal. What are you gonna do? Poke me to death? I'm like, you think people
Yeah.
that don't care about the law, people that are in the streets, care that guns are illegal? You think that's gonna stop them from having guns?
First of all, they do have guns there.
Yes, they
Number
open
one,
the trunk and the guns come out.
That's number
The
one.
Nike tech suits.
Yo, but
People
listen,
are insane.
listen, and we don't even have to like.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But-
Just gloss over it.
Here's the thing. My thoughts are this. I think that because, and I'm not talking about Skepta in particular, or any one of them. I just mean people in general, because they have such a difficult time articulating specifically what they're talking about, and they make these generalized comments, then people, and whether they're trolling or not, I don't know. But the thing is that people can like pick it apart, which is what they've been doing.
Yes.
And just running with it. It's funny as an international artist myself, seeing some of the reactions in the US to where they're just like literally laughing. Like
They don't like
Just brush
the
it off.
consensus from the US folks that we've been chatting with are basically like they can never get over the accent. That's been
says some of the people with the most hilarious accents in the
100%.
world.
But can I say this?
as Americans, we
I'm gonna
only see it
say
from an
this.
American point of
I'm
view
a-
sometimes.
Yeah, but it's like
I'm a-
sorry
go
to
ahead,
cut you,
go
but
ahead.
when
You're
you think
good,
about
please.
like they used to say that about the South.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? They
and
used
they
to think
dominated
about
for 10 years.
I mean, they've been dominating for more than that at this point. But it's like they used to, like people outside of the South, they used to be like, these country ass niggas. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, that's
And
how it
then
is.
they had to prove
You gotta
themselves.
fight it.
But now
Yeah.
it's funny to sometimes see these country ass niggas that's talking about the people from the UK.
Correct.
And you know what I'm saying? So here's my thing. Never mind the accent. I think what it is and what people don't know, just dipping back to like my experience, I used to go, and I still do, I used to go to London to get inspired. Because what people don't understand, I think if you ask most casual listeners of hip hop, people don't understand that like London is a place that like literally created brand new genres within the last 20 years.
Absolutely. But,
You know what I'm
but the
saying?
branches are different. So
2025.
the way, like,
No, but we have hip hop in North America.
Correct.
But they have hip hop, they have garage, they have grime, they have drill.
Yes.
Like they literally have very drum and bass. There's like so many things that they have created.
Yeah.
And America and Canada and other places they're like musically are not necessarily as evolved. So the thing is, it's like for us, we still like in this little tunnel vision. But if you think about, if you ever watch those battles or clashes, whatever you want to call it, from back in the day, same thing.
Yes.
And you see like these guys, you see Chip, you see Wiley, you see Kano, you see Dizzy,
Aggressive.
you see all these mans them from Wretch 3-2, from all these guys from back in the day, like how they used to go at it. It's not like it's not like our battle scenes that we have up here. You know what I'm saying? With like, you know, Loaded Lux and all these different cats. It's a very different scene. But the thing is that lyrically, these guys were so nasty and so crazy. And I shouldn't even say it past tense, because to this day, it's like that is what that scene came up on. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like when you think about the Stormzy's of the day, you think about all these different London MCs, Skeptas, and these are people that it's like, that is, you remember we were talking about like, it's very different nowadays than it was back then. Like you had to be outside, you had to be like, if you ever go back and you see the shit that they documented and that is online, those guys were vicious. And here's my take on it. My take is, you know, my favorite MCs are mostly from the States. Black Thought, Andre 3000.
Undeniable.
You know what I'm saying? Doesn't matter if you want to go underground, Elzai, whoever. Like lyrically, these guys are some of the nastiest people, MJ, whatever. But we're not talking about making songs. If we're talking about, if we had the ability in this room to take the top UK MCs and literally pluck the top US MCs out of their bedrooms, wherever they're at, and we put them in this room, and somebody threw on that beat and said, yo, clash.
Yeah.
My money's on the UK.
No, I get it.
I agree with you. Yes.
If we're not talking about creating songs.
I agree with you, because
if we're not talking about creating songs.
I don't really care about the, you know, we all crack jokes about accents and stuff, but when it really comes down to it, my disconnects with UK grime or rap, whatever, is really just the beat selection. I
understand.
Like, I love rap. You can rap on a house beat, you can rap on a country beat, but when the raps are on, like, it sounds like I'm playing a video game and somebody's just rapping over Zelda. It's hard for me to digest it, especially as someone that has produced hip hop. It's like, you know, it's like it's like you're hearing flutes and boop 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 and on garage beats and pop 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 in the hip top top.
Okay.
No, I'm not. And I want flip flops.
So what I had to say about the accent thing, I feel like everybody has to fight. If you're not the accent the sound was developed with, you have to fight to come into it. Whether it be hip hop. Now, obviously, we're Nigerians. There's Afrobeats. If I hear a bad accent on an Afrobeat song, I'm not listening to it. Right? Yeah. I'm sorry. I don't care if it's rags to riches. I don't care if it's about club, but it just doesn't go with the beat. And if I'm listening to dancehall and I hear a Nigerian accent, I am not listening to it 100%. Either. And shout out to my Ghanaians that love dancehall. I'm not listening to half of what y'all saying. God bless all the Charlies. I'm sorry. It's just one of those things, right? But you can fight to make it mainstream, right? Like it's just how it works. Like we said, the South found a way, get themselves, and then when the West.
The South is actually a great example, because my first introduction to Atlanta rap was Outkast, like Aquemini, et cetera, et cetera. And when people think of like the South got something to say, even in hindsight, it makes sense, because it was rap. You could understand everything was parsed. You could parse what they were saying, and the beat selection was great. It was a well put together project.
Is looking back at it, because you know when it starts.
No, even at the time, people respected it. They just were like, it's not from New York.
New, it sounds off. It's just to the average listener, not to the music fan. Where whenever something is new, it just sounds off.
Yeah.
Sometimes, but even not to everybody. I'm just saying to the average listener. If you're
what's interesting? When I first came out, because for us coming up in Toronto, again, it wasn't something that we intentionally did at the time to where like we are going to infuse dancehall into hip hop and that's going to be our thing.
He does voice acting as well.
It was just really one of those things where it's like, if you are doing, like if you're creating your shit and you are trying to be as authentic as you can to who you are, for us, it's how we lived. You know what I'm saying? So what was interesting was when I got my deal with MCA and we started going to places like, Houston and Memphis and all these other places. Them motherfuckers used to fuck with it heavy.
UGK and all these guys.
No, but what I'm saying is, it's like, I'm talking when we used to go do shows over there. Them same country guys used to be like, man, I fuck with you. Yeah. They might not be able to say my name, but they fucked with the music. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same way that I think, like, if you do dope shit, it is going to work out. It's the same way that it's like Central C's accent, still thick as fuck, but people fuck with it because it's good music.
And the bars are great. And
Stormzy,
the beat selection is great.
People fuck with when Tiny Temper came out.
Great.
Dizzy Rascal, when he came out with Fix Up, Look Sharp, shit was hard as fuck.
People are talking about that their bars are wonderful and their beat selection is just as great. I think the disconnect that every time I'm in a conversation with someone that's like, oh, we don't understand UK rap, I'm like, it's really sometimes just as simple as, it's okay. It's like everybody used to compare Jay-Z and Nas and be like, oh, this person won the battle, that person lost the battle. The biggest critique that Nas has even acknowledged is that his beat selection wasn't in the same, like it didn't hold the same weight as Jay's beat selection. Imagine if Nas gave us Kanye West and Just Blaze. It would be, we would have a whole completely different perspective of Nas up until King Disease.
I like that.
Him collaborating with Hit Boy was the best thing he could have done for his career. Yeah, because Hit Boy was already undeniable as a producer.
I used to say for years and years, I would have loved to A&R Nas.
Oh my God.
The people that I would, imagine, and I know it doesn't make sense, maybe. But like, because he was so ill, imagine Nas over some Jay Dilla.
Oh my God!
You know what I'm saying? Like, imagine what? You know what I mean? Imagine what Dilla. Imagine what Dilla could have done.
100%.
With
a lot of people didn't get to experience Dilla because he passed prematurely. Yeah. But thankfully, Kanye was like kind of in a similar space. Like nobody could have touched
a derivative for sure.
But the closest we got to Dilla on a mainstream level was Kanye. Maybe Kanye, maybe High Tech, maybe a few of them that were
all
Dilla
samples. Cousins, all Dilla cousins,
Pete Rock, of that ilk. But imagine if not, like some of Nas's biggest records in the mainstream were obviously records that Timbo, I'm trying to think.
Who did
Primo, of course, Pete Rock,
Premier, Pete Rock. But outside of that, some of the records like dope records, but it didn't hit the same way like H to the Izzo hit for Jay-Z.
You know what I'm saying? It matters.
Yeah.
Well, listen, on that whole UK joint, like, listen,
because Giggs and Wiley responded too. Like Giggs was like, respectfully, Skepta, like.
But you see, he just shout out to Giggs. I like what Giggs did because he broke down culturally even what it means to be a grime MC versus a hip hop MC.
Yes.
Because to us, Canada included, sometimes we just look at it as, oh, these guys are all rappers. But they're like, nah, Giggs is like, he does UK hip hop where these guys are grime MCs.
Absolutely.
And it's like, until you go over there and it's like you go to a rave where it's like they're playing specific types of music, you're not even really gonna understand, you know what I'm saying, what the difference is.
Absolutely. I love that he broke it down as well, because I mean Giggs and because Giggs was supposed to come on our show last year, but things came up, but hopefully soon, right?
Word.
But he's mentioned in the past how hard of a fight it was for people to respect UK rap over there. Because they kind of felt like, why are you chasing the American sound? Like,
it's true.
Grime is like that homegrown, like you mentioned, that homegrown genre that the people that were rapping in the grime space were like, why are you trying to imitate those American guys that don't even rate us, etc. So Giggs and Wiley and folks like them, you know, they were trying to get people to kind of shift their position. So you have artists like Stormzy now and Central C now.
But but I love even that evolution of what happened over there is super dope, because it's like, if you look at, you know, there's so many of them. Like if you look at like Sway and Pirelli, if you look at, oh man, like over the years there is so Solid Crew. There's so many MCs from over there, and it's like culturally, the funny thing is when I first went there, I think in '99, is when I understood the parallel between Toronto and London. And there's been a lot of conversation around Toronto and London, the slang, all of the things. What's interesting is it can be summed up very easily. It's just that, like, what it is, it's the diaspora. So it's like the reason why there's a similarity is because the same way that people from the Caribbean and, you know, different countries in Africa went to London, it's the same thing. They went to Toronto. So that's why there's the similarity. And from the first time that I went there, I was like, yo, this is crazy. I was like, it felt like home. Yeah. The only difference was at the time we were wearing 3X and they were still wearing super tight clothes. I'm not trying to wear 3Xs no more. You know what I'm saying?
That's a real bar.
That is.
We'll get there.
It is.
We'll get there.
But you know what I'm saying? So it's like Toronto and London, there's always been similarities. It's why when they come over to Toronto and vice versa, you know what I'm saying? It's like everybody just feels at home, because
it's different. It's always gonna be different in the States. I think we have more communities. Like West Africans are here, the Caribbeans are here. Like it doesn't, obviously it's a big ass country, right? Everybody can file little corners and try to keep the culture as much. Yeah. Like it's a melting pot as a country, yes, but the communities, the little sections, like if you go to Toronto, the East Africans are with the Caribbeans, like everybody has a mix of food. You've probably,
for the most part,
tried everything from one side of the continent, because you know
of course.
People.
The Weeknd and Cardinal hanging out at Tim Hortons? What?
Right, Tim Hortons.
That's crazy.
No, but it's like, and then you go to New York, and it's like the Caribbeans are in Brooklyn, right?
Yeah.
And then we have Nigerians.
I mean, we're in Bronx, America.
No,
in Queens.
but it's like the Caribbeans are in White Plains, right? So it's neighborhoods, because I'm in the Bronx, right? So Caribbeans are in White Plains, and we have Nigerians or Ghanaians in one section. And so it's like
Tracy Towers.
Tracy Towers is where the Ghanaians are. So it's like you have this, it's a melting pot, but we also we go back home to our section. So I think it's a lot harder to get that feeling here as it is in Toronto, as it is in London, because everybody is in each other's ends. Like you go
that
to
sounded crazy. We gotta
that is
time out on that. Time out. Time out.
Everybody's in each other's neighborhood.
There you go. There you go.
Wow. Neighborhood don't sound right. Talking about
guy, don't point out. You can't say that. I'll point out.
So, but if you go to Southeast,
he said that you missed it. Hey. Hey, yeah.
I fumbled.
You fumbled. It's
in
okay.
Nigeria, I will say, "Na me fuck up."
You fuck up.
It's me.
Fuck up.
It's my doing. Na me fuck up.
But we move.
So like when you go to Southeast London, like you go to Catford, Lewisham area, like everybody's there, you know, like together. So
Peckham.
I think, Peckham especially.
Peckham is literally little Nigeria.
Right. Like you're legit gonna see a Nigerian auntie on the phone yelling.
Somebody making food.
Take one turn. There's a Jamaican auntie. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's just.
And you see what's interesting, just literally flash history, is also that there was a significant increase in people from the continent in I would say early 2000s and moving, since then. I don't want to say primarily, but there was a way bigger stronghold on the Toronto culture as people from the Caribbean. But then as time went on, it's like, so many people from the continent came to where it's like it kind of balanced it out a bit more, to where at one point in time, like if you looked at the scene and a lot of the different MCs, to be honest, like the majority of them had Caribbean lineage. To where it's like now, even when it comes to, you mentioned Toby earlier, there's so many different people that, whether it's R&B, whether it's hip hop, you know what I'm saying? There's just a lot more representation from the continent right now. But it wasn't always like that though. And it's like,
it progresses. Yeah,
but I mean, you know what? I think, excuse me. I think if we really think about it also, it's just that like where the energy and vibes came from also changed as well. Because when we were younger, like we used to have, we call them blockos, but we used to have block parties, you know what I'm saying? So it's like we'd literally be outside in the street. They can't have that in Toronto as much anymore.
Too many
No
YNs.
No
It's different.
way.
It's different now.
No way.
Yo, I heard
Too many people would perish for sure.
Oh yeah, no.
And not to say that it
You're
was
not sure
nice.
if it's fireworks or gunshots.
Listen, not to say that it was nice when we were out, but the reality is that like we used to have
There was a
parties
code.
that we used to have parties in. There was a code
There's no
that we
code
used
anymore.
to move. No code.
The YNs don't respect anything
it's
or
crazy.
anyone.
If you think about G. Ross Lord Park, if you think about parties over at on the island, you know what I'm saying, Center Island and all those places. If you think about the house parties that we used to go to, it's like you would have people from different neighborhoods that would like travel from the West End all the way to the East End because that's where the girls is at. And we used to go to all the house parties, the barbecues. Like that's the energy and the vibes from when we came up. But it's like it's much different because people are just on their phones right now.
Yeah.
So it's like I love, shout out to, I see the younger generation doing it, things like Uncle Delroy and other parties where it's like they outside again. Cozy, exactly.
Shout out to them.
You know what I'm saying? Where it's like people are outside again and not just outside, but outside and having fun.
Yeah.
They're not just outside
Those
in a
cozy
booth on
parties
their
are
phone.
crazy.
They're actually dancing,
And they're a good
sweating.
time.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And
We
people
need
used to
that
say all the
back.
time, yo, why did you always stay in Toronto? The thing is, I used to live in Brooklyn for like a year. What was that? A year and a half when we used to do that? Yeah, like a year and a half.
Was this like when you started crossing over in the States? You moved to the States?
Yeah, but not because of that, though.
Got it.
It was just because here's a business thing is at the time they still had things called stipends to where it's like you had your deal, you had your advance, you had whatever, but there was also a monthly stipend
per
that
diem.
it was more than a per diem.
Talking shit.
More than a per diem.
Talking shit.
But it was something, you know what I'm saying? So it was something that afforded me to have a crib in Toronto,
yeah.
pay for, rent or mortgage in
You see-
America.
You see it's like quiet flex.
No, because it was
I'm
only like
joking,
built
I'm
into the
joking, I'm
contract for
joking.
like, I don't know, it might have been for like a 2 years or something.
This is
One-
before
but-
Napster
Listen.
destroyed everything.
Listen, one raindrop in Brooklyn, and my boy taking a flight right back to see that. Like, I can't deal with that. I can't deal with rain in Brooklyn. Come on.
He said, "What's the Van Wyck? We will sit in this Van Wyck. I don't care.
That's right.
We will make it there."
That's right.
But it was crazy living in Brooklyn though, because it's like, yo, the thing that we used to hate is because we used to either go to studio or parties and come home at 6 a.m.
But you were in Brooklyn at a time where Brooklyn was still
Nah, but
dope.
yeah,
like
for
you
sure.
You were not in gentrified Brooklyn.
No,
Brooklyn is
not at all.
unrecognizable now to someone that was there.
Yeah,
at the
when-
time.
When we were there,
Pre-Barclays.
when we were there, on our street, I remember there was like a gang of people on the stoop.
Literally.
And it's like we had to like they're like, hey yo, like who are you?
Right.
What
You know
size?
what I mean?
What size sneaker you wear?
Nah, but it's one of
Mind
them
your
ones where
business.
we're like, yo, we from a couple houses down, you know what I'm saying? We just moved in. They're like, all right, welcome to the block. Like we part of the neighborhood. But the reality that we hated though was that the sign would say at 7:30 a.m. no parking on this side of the
They would
street.
clear
yeah, yeah.
And
everything.
we used to be like,
You
all
gotta
right,
wake up early to move.
flip a coin to see who's gonna wake up in an hour and a half to move and half the time we're like, we're too
Fuck it.
tired,
Yeah.
$60 ticket, $80
Yeah, it's
ticket,
still going up.
$100
Yeah.
ticket.
Still
The
going
price just went
up.
up a little bit, but yeah, they still do the
Part
same
of the
thing.
reason why we were like, let's be out. I can't.
Really, the
I
parking
can't.
ticket got him out of here.
The parking ticket, the parking,
relatable.
Yeah, parking. Definitely.
Relatable.
everything.
Yeah,
Because
that's why
listen,
everyone
I'm
be
not
on
a
trains and
but I'm
Uber.
not a train guy.
Got you.
Yeah.
I'm not a
mad
train.
at
Remember,
that.
I lived like maybe a few blocks away from where you was at, and same. It's the same. It's worse now
Yeah, you
because
gotta
of all
wake
the
up.
gentrification is worse.
Yo, it's hilarious when you come out and everybody, you and your neighbors, everybody look half asleep, just moving the car. That's the
Or
vibe.
just sitting in the car
Somebody-
waiting for the
Yeah,
just waiting.
got
Everybody
a robe on, got two different
the Dunkin'
flip
Yo,
flops.
the Dunkin'
Mayday,
Donuts.
what was the place? What was it? Clifton Place where we lived on? Clifton Place.
Shout
in
out to
Brooklyn.
Clifton Place.
Shout out. To
Probably like
Clifton
70
Place.
high rises there now.
Man, listen, when we were there, we got blessed because we knew the owner of the brownstone, and it was like brand new, renovated
Oh, that's amazing.
apartment that we lived in at the time.
Yeah, it's probably $7,000 a month now for 2 bedrooms
Shit.
Easily with a discount.
with a discount. That's the preferential rent.
Oh, I gotta ask the behind
Concessions.
I gotta ask the behind the scenes question because you worked with our African brother, helped get him signed.
Yeah,
Which one?
you know which one?
Konvict.
No, I didn't help him. I didn't help get him
You
signed.
didn't work with the signing for Konvict?
No.
I thought you did.
Mm-mm. So with Akon, shout out to my guy Kirk Harding and
he manages Burna Boy. Well, co-manages Burna Boy with.
No, Burna Boy is signed to him.
Oh, okay. Bad habit.
Bad habit. Yep.
Salute
so
to
Burna
Kirk
Boy.
and
So
Matt.
on the label side, Burna Boy is signed to Bad Habit. And then they
partnership with
have
Atlantic.
And then yeah.
Shout outs to Kirk and Matt.
So, Kirk is who was dealing with early Akon, and Kirk was also through Mr. Morgan and the whole nine. Kirk was my brethren from a long time.
Wow.
So, before he got up out of there, Kirk also used to be head of international for UMG. So, Kirk was actually who connected us, you know what I'm saying? Because he was working Akon, and then obviously, that sounds crazy, he was working the Akon project. And, you know what I mean? He's the one that, you know what I'm saying, connected the two of us. Yeah. And what it was that like, that was at an interesting time because when I was, I told you guys earlier, I signed to MCA Records. Mm-hmm. MCA folded and dissolved, turned into Geffen Records. That Geffen situation was some bullshit. Yes. So we got off of Geffen. So at that time, there was a little couple year window where I was an independent artist.
Oh, wow.
And, Akon used to see me everywhere. Like we'd be in London. Yeah, what's going on? Mm-hmm. We, Make Show Power Summit. We'd be in Puerto Rico. And he would see me all over the world. And he's like, yo, everywhere I go, I see this kid. Like, what is this? Mm-hmm. And I think it all just... You know what I'm saying? Like it all just started to like hit a height around 2005 to where independently I was outside moving, you know what I'm saying? And just killing it. And 2005 Jay-Z had something called Rock the Banner during Caravana in Toronto. Yes. And this is when he had just signed Rihanna, you know what I'm saying? And I was on Rihanna's first album. So he had Rihanna, Tierra Marie, and Kanye with him.
It sounds like you're about to tell us how Dangerous happened.
No.
This is still way before that.
No, this is way before Dangerous.
Okay. Well, okay. I'll let you finish.
Yeah. So Jay-Z's manager had hit up me and Mr. Morgan. He's like, yo, Jay wants you to be a special guest at his block. He's doing a big old block party downtown Toronto, and thousands and thousands of people have showed up. And, at the time I came out and we flipped that thing upside down. It's on YouTube.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Sure. It's outside. But it was crazy because at that time, Jay, like him and what's my youth there? Jay Brown.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, at that time they're like, hey yo, like they had just started what's the other one? Rock La Familia.
Oh wow.
And they were like, hey yo, Jay fucks with you. I was like, yo, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, they were contemplating at the same time that we got a call from Akon, who was starting this thing called Konvict
music, yeah.
And I remember at the time I was like, yo, this is crazy because Jay-Z, I was gonna say at that time, but still, but at that time, one of my all-time favorite, the biggest artist in the world. And then, Akon, who is this new guy who's just building this new empire. Mm-hmm. But anyway, long story short, flew out to Atlanta and kicked it with Akon and obviously prayed on it too, but it just felt, you know what I mean? Like it felt like the way to go and the thing to do. And trust me, at the time, a lot of people were like, you're crazy. You went with Akon instead of with Jay-Z, but no disrespect to those guys at all, but I don't know if anybody's around from Rock La Familia. You know what I'm saying? Whereas
I'm assuming that's like state property.
No. That's at the time when he's like, he split.
Oh, so him and Dame had already.
Yeah. So remember, Rock La Familia was like Aztec.
I never heard of that name ever.
This is what he had different artists at the time, and no disrespect to Aztec or any of them, man. They're big up wherever you at. But the reality was that, like, you got to think about it. Like, from the Konvict situation was myself, T-Pain, Lady Gaga, you know what I'm saying? Rock City, Toronto's one of the biggest writers in the world. Like there's a plethora of people
T. Thomas
from that Konvict scenario that went on to do crazy things with Akon and after. Akon.
Was Red One a part of the collective, or he was just a frequent collaborator?
It depends on who you ask.
Oh, okay.
At that time, he was with the Click Heavy though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like anywhere we were moving around, shout out to Giorgio. There was a lot of key people behind the scenes that were like, you know, part of a lot of the movement from that crew. But I think it was very interesting because we all had like very different roles that we played. Like if you think about all the people that were down with Konvict at the same time, on paper it didn't make no sense. But
that diversity helped because we got T-Pain, we got we got Gaga, and they were all successful in their own right. All of them. Even Rock City, like they may not have done all the things they wanted to do as artists, but as writers, incredible. They've written some of the best records in the game.
True.
What was your first single you dropped under your situation with Konvict?
My Dangerous.
Yeah. Out of the records you dropped in that deal, what do you think is the biggest record you dropped under that deal?
I mean,
because it was Dangerous, it was Tide is High, it was
Dangerous. There was number 1, Tide is High. We did Beautiful.
Yeah.
There's a record that went gold. We just dropped it and just went on its own body bounce. Like me and Akon did a lot of great music together. We've always done incredible music together. You know what I'm saying? Like really and truly. There was I can't even remember the name of the song, but I remember we did one of those outros for a movie, like the film credits, you know, the big boys. And I remember you know, we did that together. Like me and Akon musically always just made the illest.
That was a hot period. I feel like so many records that came out from that label at that time were just undeniable hits. Undeniable.
When people talk about the formula though, it's because it's like, all right, you know what? It's kind of like a chef that's chefing up in the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? Like he might be looking for a recipe for something, and then all of a sudden he adds a little extra brown sugar and some nutmeg, and he's like, there it is. And everything that you cook, as long as you add that little secret thing, people are eating it up. They don't know what it is.
Y'all had that umami. Y'all had that MSG.
We had no MSG. We had the pimento.
Healthy.
We had the pimento, the nutmeg. You know what I'm saying?
MSG to a man that just came out of Jamaica eating healthy food is crazy.
No MSG.
That's crazy. That's an attack.
Not me fuck up.
But nah, it was, you know what I'm saying? It was a ill time. But the interesting thing was there was like a 2-year period to where I was quote unquote signed to Konvict where there wasn't nothing happening. It was rough. I was, you know, out on the road on the tour bus. I didn't have my own hotel room, not getting paid anything for shows. You know what I'm saying? So was
there anything that like, do you think there was anything specific that led to that, or it just happened to be the nature of the business at the time, or just in general?
That's what it is. Used to be a thing called paying dues.
Very true.
Pre-entitlement.
Yes.
Before, you understand what I'm saying? Like people was like, hotel room, nigga, go in the booth. Yeah. You know what I mean? Make me want to give you a hotel room. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when you're hungry, you know what I'm saying, and you realize the opportunity that's there, you're gonna do whatever you got to do. You're gonna sleep on those couches. You're gonna, you know what I'm saying?
Happily too.
1,000%. But it's funny that Mayday's here because we were on the Gwen Stefani tour across North America, and the last stop was in Vancouver, Canada. And it was just me, no management, no nothing. I was just out there thugging it, you know what I'm saying? And I remember like, it was rough because I remember the money just kept going down.
I remember the time. It was a different time.
It was
Before
tough.
they figured out streaming, it was a tricky
No,
time.
no. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about my money.
At that time.
I'm talking about my bank account.
See, I love that accents is like a reoccurring theme. We're all terrible at our accents.
You know what I'm saying? Terrible. But here's the reality. The very last show, I remember I said I didn't have a hotel room. Yeah. So I was going to go shower, use, shout out to DJ Benny D. You know, he's like, yo, you could go get ready in my room. So I remember I said to Exit, who Exit works at Mass Appeal now with Nas, but at the time he was Akon's like dedicated engineer. And I said, yo, when Akon comes onto the bus, we had Timberland's tour bus at the time. He had a studio at the back of the tour bus instead of, usually they have like a big king bed and it's a bedroom, but he had converted it into a studio. I said,
That's
yo,
fire.
I said, when Akon gets on the bus, I was like, yo, you got to play him this beat. He's like, all right, I got you. So I went, you know, took a quick shower, whatever, came back down and got into the tour bus. and him and Exit were literally just sitting there staring at me in silence. Like I walked in, I'm like,
what did I miss?
I was like, what did I
Who
miss?
farted? Who farted?
What did I miss? Shout out Tita.
But no, I was like, yo, Exit, did you play him the joint? And Akon was like, yo, what joint? I was like, yo, run the beat for him. So he's, we ran the beat for Dangerous, and Akon's like, all right. Okay. But then all of a sudden I heard, girl, I can't know this but two. I said, what the fuck? I said, when did you do this?
He already recorded to it.
He wrote and recorded. By the time I took a shower and came back,
oh wow,
he came onto the bus, heard the beat, wrote the hook, went in the booth, recorded it, and sat down.
That's fire.
And waited for you to play it.
Just to Troy and be like, what beat?
Yes. So I... 15 minutes, did my part.
That's amazing.
Killed it. And I remember, so here's the thing. I thought it was a cool song. Not gonna lie.
Right,
like
yeah, that was a great song.
Cool song. I came back, and same studio I'm talking about that Fifth was at. I came back to my studio, Mayday came over. I'm like, he's like, yo, play me the songs that you did while you were on the road. Because that was primarily the reason why I was there to record in hopes of finding something. I remember when Dangerous came on, he was like, it was like, yo, did you back this up? Make a duplicate copy, yo. And I was like, yeah,
you sure?
What? Yo, it's cool. He's like, this is the one. He was the first one that was like, this is the one.
Yeah, that was the record that broke through for us. I can say
definitely.
On a mainstream level for sure. But yeah, here's the thing. I learned from a lot of my heroes at that time when that song came out, and this is pre-streaming. This is when it was selling like hundreds of thousands per week. Not streaming.
No.
People going and downloading it or whatever, buying it at the store.
Tower Records.
It was something to where, right. It was something to where like my heroes were like, yo, many of us don't get those.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The reality is they're like, yo, there's some people that have some stellar careers, but people don't have that Batman sign, that calling card, you know what I'm saying? And in all honesty, I really didn't understand what it was. At that time, I remember I had access to be able to ask Jay some questions from time to time or hit up, obviously like Busta been my brother for mad years at this point. And really just talking to these guys and understanding it, it's like I understood the significance. And it's different, like, I have had at that point in time, the funny thing was like that was in my early 30s. So it's not even to say like I was just starting out. So I had already kind of done a cycle to where some people cycle out. You know what I'm saying? They have a nice little run. People are like, hey man, that was cool. Yeah. You get an applause and we don't hear from them literally. And at that point in time, it's like understanding how important that song was, not just for me, but also for my country. You got to understand like when people talk about, oh, it was the first hip hop song from a guy from Canada to break, the Billboard Hot 100 and whatever, get into the top 5 and all that. Like, it's something that had never been done. But again, this was not me thinking that this was ever possible. Now, because it's so regular for us, we have the Biebers and we have the Weekends and the Drakes and Nav and this, and we have so many people now that have participated, you know what I'm saying, in something that was, I don't want to say excluded us, but it's like it was very, very American centric. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? To where it's like, for black music anyway. Yeah. To where it's like, for me, showing that this was something that was attainable, it was so important. It was a pivotal moment for the entire country. And what was dope was at that point in time, maybe a year later ish, is when, Drake linked up with Young Money and then Best I Ever Had happened. So at that time, it was such a crucial time in the development and the evolution of how Toronto was perceived. Because it's like Toronto been around for forever. People think that this Toronto thing is new, but it's like, if if you're somebody from New York, from LA, from wherever,
nobody from New York can step on Toronto.
People, because we used to, first of all, we participated in so many different things. You know what I'm saying? It's like, again, this is not an email that was sent or a DM. This was us like
showing up,
and going to Manhattan, going to the 12th floor of some dusty ass building where I'm like, yo, what's going on in here? They're like,
make yourself known.
niggas is rapping in here today. And if you go and if you fuck it up, it's just another notch on your belt.
Yeah. I also think that from again, as a consumer at that time, I don't think that I don't think the issue with the Toronto rap scene was an issue of talent. It was more so about like platform. So like you've been rapping, you've been nice, right? But you know, that Konvict deal helped platform you in a space where you were in so many more markets than you were prior.
For sure.
Like you were the nicest.
But Akon taught us about that though. He taught us about the importance of the international market. And I think, let me tell you something. So I had this record with T-Pain called Go Home With You. And I was like, this is the one. This is the lead single. And I remember they're like, no. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Have you heard
it? And they're just like, yo.
This guy made Bartender.
Globally, they're like, nah, bro, you got to understand the world moves different than America and Canada for that matter. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, Akon showed us the importance of really honing in on that global market and how powerful and influential it was. Because we were just, at that time, we're like, yo, we just wanted to be nice in anytime we go to Miami or go to LA or come to New York, Connecticut, whatever. We're like, yeah, as long as we popping over there, we good. Yo, those guys are like, nah, bro, you need to be good in France and Germany and the UK and like we touched so many countries and cities around the world at that time. It was really, you know, shout out to Akon. It was really him being very intentional when it came to his roster. And the ones that rose to the top, I think, are the ones that really heard what he was saying, you know what I'm saying, and applied it to their careers.
And that's dope. You got to do, because I feel like you're a great performer. So,
thank you, boss.
No, for real. I feel like a great performer keeps people's energy.
Nobody's fucking with me, but continue.
No, I definitely, if we talking Clash, we talking things like that, I definitely feel like we put you on stage.
This is his talking voice, his on stage voice, his performance.
So I think it's dope that you get to see the world that way. Like see the world in a way where, okay, I want to be able to hold it down in Japan. I want to be able to hold it down in France. And then you have, like you said, that, because I think every artist that tours well or performs well needs that. I'm gonna close out when this beat drop. They're gonna go crazy.
You know what though? The bar has dropped so low
but
that anybody can do anything these days.
Yeah, but there's still that feeling from those from I guess our days, right? Where it's like that beat drop and you're like, I remember where I was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I had two speakers on that computer screen.
Yes.
Flip that on, you know what I'm saying? That feeling. So it's like, remember going and actually watching videos and just that feeling. So
yes, absolutely.
It's dope to know that happens. And then, because you could be a great performer and not have.
I'm glad that I came up at the time that I came up at, because it's like, when you think about, you know, when you think about, but like doing the MTVs,
I cannot.
doing the 106 in Parks, doing the Rap Cities, all these platforms that were made available for musicians to go and showcase what it was that they did and to show that real talent.
And
it's
you
like,
held your own. You earned your stripes.
But listen, like I think what people have to understand is it's like, yo, think about DMX, Wu-Tang, Jay-Z,
different class.
Ludacris,
and getting respect from all of them is crazy.
Yo, but it's not even about that. This was the caliber of your competition. So to cut through at that time is impossible.
You had to be up there.
You're a kid from another country.
That's what I'm saying.
And they're playing your videos in the mix with all these giants. Bro, it's not like today where it's like,
this guy's 12 million TikTok followers.
What, like,
let's throw him a deal.
You know what I'm saying? I think for me, it's true accomplishment when you think about that, like some of the greatest MCs of all time were rocking at that time. And, you know, that was my entry, you know what I'm saying, into the, you know, the beginnings of the mainstream, you know what I'm saying, is amongst those giants. That was it. That was massive for us.
I can't even imagine like kids in Toronto just seeing their guy.
I can imagine it. I mean,
no, it's like, because again, it's not like it's impossible that it's never gonna happen, but it's just
No, it very much was impossible.
I don't want to put
and nobody thought, including myself,
Drake
we didn't think
Drake
this was a
had
thing.
to have been looking at him, being like,
No,
I
sure.
feel like I can do this.
No,
now.
definitely, we know about the flow, and so it's like we know that side of the story. But it's just dope to just imagine, like, because I remember Ojua, like, by the Wizkid song, right? When the remix came out with Drake and Skepta, you couldn't tell me shit. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, this is Wiz. We worked with Wiz previous to all this. We've helped him with the shows when he would come to New York. So it's like,
yeah, me too. We did a collab in like 2010 or 2011.
When is it dropping?
2010 or 2011. Like this, yo.
When is it dropping in the past?
Yo, it was one of them ones, like, we were in Atlanta and it was either Tima or Boo or one of them. We were in Atlanta and they're like, yo, you got to come to the studio. There's this big African star named Wizkid.
Boo was kind of managing him at the time. Yeah, it was.
It was either. Listen, I don't want to discredit Tima because Tima's always been tapped into. But anyway, I remember we circled back and I just seen some little kid, and in my mind I was like, all right, I'll wait till Wizkid gets here. And they're like, no, that's Wizkid. He was mad quiet. You know what I'm saying? I was like, this is the guy you guys are talking about? And, you know, I think the only thing, I didn't know anything. Like, at that time, I knew zero about Afrobeats or anything of the time. These guys were explaining it to me. I'm like,
okay.
All right. You know what I'm saying? So, we ended up, it's crazy because we ended up doing like song is dope, but it's like we ended up doing like a straight hip hop song. And it's like, even back then, I was gonna say, even at that time, there was no hint of anything Afro on that. No. Like when the people listening and you guys too, when you go back to Spotify and you look at the Kardinal Wizkid collab, you'll be like, this is such a waste of an opportunity, because had I known what he was capable of,
he wasn't even developed in the way that he is now. No. You caught him really early.
Yeah.
But also at the time you're talking about, hip hop was huge.
Yes, you had to go with what was high.
Yeah. Nigeria had so much influence from the global hip hop scene, and dancehall and reggae. So at that time you were hearing a lot of artists that wanted to sound like, do like a fusion, kind of like what Burna's doing, like a dancehall reggae thing. Or they were trying to out bar everybody in Nigeria, you know, and Ghana too. Ghana had some rappers at the time, Reggie Rockstone, Sarkodie, etc.
Yeah, it's a big thing. At one point in Nigeria, Nigerians didn't listen to Nigerian music because it was like the local thing. They're like, oh, you care about the local sound. You know what I mean? Like,
and artists used to go to 50 always talks about him touring in Nigeria.
No, it was a big thing. It was a big thing when 50 did his tour, and obviously had the beef with
Idris Abdul Karim.
So it's just the
he had beef with mans over there.
Bobby Trends told me the whole thing. Bobby Trends told me the story. Like, when they went to Nigeria,
it was a very important part of music in Nigeria because, again, sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good.
How do I put this? It was basically the local artists not being treated like the celeb they when the international.
We still go through that in Toronto.
So the artist stood up for himself.
It's like, who do you think you are coming to my country thinking that you're gonna get the seat on the private jet and not me? It's my jet.
Technically, yes, everyone's happy for 50, but this is
that's their guy.
Our guy. So he is gonna put people in seats and have people going crazy. Treat them like, you know, he could sell out a spot. So that was the main issue. 50 does not know him, obviously.
Yeah, to 50's credit, he didn't know that he had the right to be where he was. He was just like, yo, I'm looking out for my safety. I'm going to sit where I've been told I can sit. You're in my seat. You know, he didn't know anything. It was a miscommunication thing. It's like, who are you sitting in my seat? It's like, you on my man's jet.
No, our guy was trying to prove a point. Like, it was 50's seat, but it was just also like nah.
Who the F are you? I'm sitting here.
All of y'all are treating.
Make me get up. Make me get up.
It
was one of them things. But you know,
it was needed because then it changes how artists in Nigeria were treated, and then how they were put them in the front row, have them, you know, meet the artist like, this is our guy, this is 50, you know, like build relationships. So it was a major stepping stone in like getting us where we needed to get.
And then you get like Ross and Meek and Wale and a whole bunch of other rappers collaborating with Nigerian artists after that, because it was about a respect thing.
Yeah.
All that said, you know, we talked about Dangerous, we talked about Number One, we talked about Beautiful, etc. We got to talk about Set It Off. We got to talk about it for a few reasons. Now, people hear the name Boy Wonder and they may think of Drake first because they've had an extensive collaborative history.
Of course.
But a lot of people don't realize that Boy Wonder produced that record for you, right? Who had, I mean, what did that record come out before?
Yep.
So you had a prior working relationship with Boy Wonder?
No. So I was the first, Boy Wonder's first major label placement was with me. So Boy Wonder came to the crib, and I love this story just because it's like the funny thing is he's 90% as humble. 10%.
100%.
10%
and he's
now.
Super nice.
He's gonna talk his shit every once in a while now, but he's still a very
he's lit.
quiet, humble dude.
Yeah.
So this kid, he might have been, I don't know, he might have been like 17 at the time, 16, 17, I don't know. But he came to the same legendary studio, came down to the studio, but he had like this dusty, crusty PC and
Fruity Loops?
Absolutely. But he's like, yo, you have the aux, and I'm just looking at it like,
do I want this?
I was like, oh man, I was like,
get a virus right now?
I was like, who is this kid, man? But yo, he pressed play, and I was like, what the fuck? Okay, listen, there's not very many people, like I've heard the Clipse talk about working with early Pharrell and early Timberland and all that.
Early Boy Wonder.
Working with you have to remember, Boy Wonder ushered in a new sound. There was no like, this is prior to T minus. This like the Boy Wonder sound is what ended up going on. Now, interestingly enough, Drake picked a specific
type of his
type of the Boy Wonder sound because Boy Wonder also had that energy that I needed. Whereas Drake's was more what they used to call it, like vibey
for the ladies.
Kind of, it's not even for the ladies, you know. It was just more of like this melancholy, like smooth kind of thing. To where it's like, it may be because Boy Wonder's Jamaican, where he had that same ton up energy that I needed.
Oh yeah.
But he came to my crib and he played me these beats. I said, yeah, like I don't know what that, I don't know how to describe that for somebody when it's like, you know, in your mind and in your heart that you're like, yo, I just discovered that new shit. I discovered that shit. And I remember, like, I don't want to put it, well, it doesn't matter. He's making a lot of money right now. But at the time, I'm like, yo, my bro, how much are you charging for them beats? He's like, yo, 200. And I was like, oh, okay.
Give me all of them.
Yo,
give me all that shit.
But I remember he went home, and I remember I said, Morgan, I said, bro, this kid that came to my studio today, bro, he's the guy. Beat, and I remember, and he'll tell you, even though he was only charging 200, I think because I had budget from the label, I think I ended up paying him like $1,500 a piece.
That's amazing.
Only because it's like, I wasn't gonna take advantage of a kid. I'm like 200.
No, that's amazing. But that's the character that I expect from you. Well, even when you said 200, I was like, there's no way that Kardinal paid him 200.
No way. No.
He definitely tripled that at least.
For sure. And it's one of them, and it was the label's money. Well, it's my money.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. There's budget.
It's your budget.
But the reality was that, like, you know, we ended up using 4 on that album. And one of them was the beat for Set It Off with the Clipse.
How did the Clipse get involved to that?
Because those are my guys. Like, remember, we did Grinding.
Yes.
Remember, we did Grind like 2000 and whatever that was. 3.
The remix?
Yeah, and that with me and Sean Paul and that, and sorry Nori, but ours is way better than yours.
For sure.
But nobody's.
This is
Nori.
not sponsored by Drink
love,
Champs.
Yo, Nori's love Nori. That's my bro.
Oh, he's transitioned to podcasting.
I know, but he'll still fire back and say that his was the better, ours was the better one. But here's the thing:
holy guacamole.
Yeah. But the reality though was, like, you know, we had Pharrell was in town promoting the Nerd album. And we had a chance meeting. I don't believe in random. God has everything divinely set out. But I met Pharrell and Pharrell was like, hey, yo, he was a massive fan of Old Time Killing.
That's fire.
And I was like, yo, remember, again, the grinding beat, I was like, I don't know what that. I said, yo, fam, that shit you did for the Clipse is what? He's like, yo,
top 5 hip hop beats ever.
He's
There's
like,
no
yo,
way that song comes on where nobody stops what they're doing and just.
What people don't understand is how ill it is, again, for a youth from Toronto to be etched in history as a part of one of the greatest
beats
ever.
Literally.
So for us, like, yo, I want you to be, I'd love for you to be on the Grinder remix. And again, industry talk, I'm like, sure, buddy.
Yeah.
What? Sure, Pharrell.
If it happens, yeah.
All right, Pharrell. And sure enough, not more than 2 days later, we get a FedEx.
Oh, that's incredible.
We get a FedEx, and I open it up, and it is a DVD that says Grinding Instrumental. I said, get the fuck out of with the whole Star Trek logo, all that shit. And I go,
that's amazing.
I write that, I record it, and I call the FedEx man back within 15 minutes.
Come pick this up.
Literally, I'm like, come get this now.
That's amazing.
And sent it back, and he ended up putting Sean Paul on it also. And that was such an incredible time. So from them times, we had built a relationship. So when it was time for Set It Off now, I remember I sent it to them. I remember Push hit me. He's like, yo, the fuck produced this? I was like, he's like, yo, what is that? I was like, yo, is this kid Boy Wonder from Toronto? He is like, this is some of the greatest, what? Like, he was losing it.
Yeah.
So, him and Malice, they did their thing, and we shot the video in LA. It was actually DJ Ski that did the video for that. And if you go back, all kinds of stuff, if you go back to that, I think that was one of the first times that there was ever Beats by Dre used in the video.
That's amazing.
And when you go look at who was wearing the Beats by Dre, it was Melanie Fiona. So
wow.
Yeah. But
that's dope.
What's crazy about that though is, so Set It Off came out, people are going crazy. They're like, yo, this is insane. And I remember I got a call and they're like, yo, and this is the beginning of them trying to get Dr. Dre out of retirement. So it's still a big thing.
This is when they first start talking about Detox.
And Jimmy is like,
Jimmy's
like, I don't know why, but Dre wants to jump on Set It Off, and that is what he wants to use as his platform to come back.
That's amazing.
I'm like,
that's amazing.
No, but listen, I'm like, come on, yo, like, what
that would have been a single.
What's the joke?
So listen to me. So Caravana, everybody from the label flew in because everything is like lava hot, whatever. And we're literally, label shit. We're at some steakhouse doing it, label shit. And yo, they get a call, and I'm not paying no mind, whatever. They're like, yo, Dre is on the phone. He wants to talk to him. Like,
which Dre?
Right.
Which Dre?
Dr. Dre.
Draymond?
Yo, I take the phone.
Not Andre.
And terrible Dre imitation.
Oh,
no,
God,
this is bad accents. It's fine.
Bad
accents.
accents
is the name of the episode.
That's the name of the episode.
So he's like, yeah, I love this shit. Listen to my verse. The man starts rapping his verse a cappella.
Was it a good verse?
What else would it be?
Who wrote it?
Dre rap for you a cappella.
Hold on.
I'm on the phone like this. I'm like, this nigga is rapping his verse a cappella.
That's great.
To me. And I remember I was like, yeah, that's good. That's great.
Shit,
you know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. Whatever the hell he said, it's going on.
I'm like, yo, that's fire. So now, here's the thing. So he recorded it, but again, something happened. He got cold feet. It leaked on the internet. So it's out there.
Oh, shit.
It's
on the beat?
Oh, yeah. This whole song structured, all of that.
Oh, wow.
So it exists, but at this time, I don't know why.
Why wasn't it cleared then if it leaked?
No, it was.
Oh, no.
No, the thing is, Dre got cold feet. He withdrew. He's like, you know what I'm saying? So
that's insane.
Yeah, but it's out there. But it's like, so just all that is speaking to the power of Boy Wonder. Boy Wonder,
insane.
He produced a song with me in the Dream. That's on that album, which is another incredible one. He produced Set It Off. He produced I a song called Lighter. Anyway, Boy Wonder, just incredible, incredible time. And, you know, that's still my friend to this day. You know, he's still, you know, we got him on the Massacre album and, you know, different things that I'm working on through Def Jam, but that's still my brother to this day, man. And it's like to be able to have that experience, like that raw, authentic, like thing to where it's like, yo, to be able to be a part of seeing that before the world to where you're like, you're listening to this thing to where I'm like, oh, he's smoking everybody.
Yeah.
I don't care who's out. Timberland, Pharrell. Yeah. This is the guy.
And it's such a shame all these years later how like certain people have fallen on either side, because like at one point there was so much collaborative energy where like now, you know, certain producers, certain artists taking sides. Seeing Push and Malice go at that camp, you know, now is wild. Seeing that there's so much history between.
And I mean, you know, listen, here's the difficult thing for me is that at this point in time, I'm a big man in this thing.
Yeah.
So, obviously, it's always going to be hometown first. You always got to represent Toronto first. But at the same time, I can't pretend like more time like I don't love the Clipse.
Yeah.
It's not a thing.
Yeah. Clipse has no issue with Toronto.
No, but listen, they first of all, Clipse love Toronto. That's number one. Number two is, you know, I was rocking with the Clipse since like what, 02, 03? You know what I'm saying? So it's like I don't really have skin in the game. You feel what I'm saying? But it's one of them ones where it's like I think the Clipse are incredible. You know what I mean? Been one of my favorites from even before they were the Clipse. You know what I'm saying? Like when they had the album prior to Lord Willing. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been following them since on the journey since them times. So, you know, obviously, you know what I'm saying? Like I love, you know what I'm saying? Like what Drake is doing, I can't like be one of them ones where I'm going to pretend like I'm not going to listen to the Clipse. Correct. I don't love it. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, it's like when you know, and this is not the only time, but it's like when you know people that are beefing and they're like, oh shit.
Now they want me to pick a side.
You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? It's one of them ones where it's like the reality is that like, you know, we've seen it happen to where people, they go to war, but then, you know, Meek and Drake became cool afterwards and people, you know what I mean?
War of ego.
Nas and Jay, different, you know what I mean? Different things happen to where people mature, they get older. Or they're just like, you know what, that shit was about nothing. Listen, if Fat Joe and 50 can have a relationship, anybody can have a relationship.
I agree with you, but in addition to that, I feel like sometimes there's like especially between men, sometimes there's war of ego, and then there's war of principle. And I think the difference between like a Fat Joe and 50 or the Nas and Jay that was more again from a fan's perspective felt like more of a war of ego, whereas with this situation between Drake and Clipse, it's more like a principle thing because Push has made it very clear like it's a principle issue for him. With him and other folks, it's a principle issue. Like I don't move the way you move, so I'm gonna let you move how you move over there, and I'm gonna just move the way I move over here. Like we don't need to even.
I think what makes it easier for me is like they're both making good music. So I'm just
no pun intended.
What do you think about the album?
Which one?
Clipse is the new one.
Man, lyrically nuts.
You're right.
Let God sort him out.
Still bumping it, and also still excited for what Drake has to come. Drake makes amazing music, and you know what I mean. Like the top artists keep the sound, keep the culture, keep everything going.
Listen,
so I'm excited.
Drake, I don't know about but was a big Clipse fan.
We know. Drake was a big Joe Budden fan, and you were happy with them too. No, there's documented
I don't even
proof.
know why I'm laughing at that, but
no, there's documented proof. You know, it's always funny. I mean, it's not funny, but when people beef and then they find like archive footage of I'm the biggest fan of blah blah blah, whoever that person's beefing with. I've seen footage of I want to say maybe at Toad's place, like Drake and Joe Budden stand out, whatever. Like I'm a big fan of Joe Budden, you know, horrible accents.
Was that I don't know.
What country was that?
I don't know.
Somalia.
The only thing I will say with Drake is he's given us a few accents, so you could get away with any Drake accent. What were you about to say?
I don't see. I thought about it and I aborted mission. It's fine.
But I will say, like,
I just decided
I
not to do
think
that.
it's easier for the listeners if you just see him as two coworkers that don't get along. It's simple.
Okay.
Yeah. I feel like if you're in the same space with the same person, I think a lot of people want.
So who's HR? Universal?
The
That's
label
crazy.
part. The
That's
label
crazy.
part
That's
I'm
wild.
staying out
That's
of.
crazy.
Yeah, that's
Evolution is HR.
No,
That's
I just
crazy.
feel like
That's wild.
a lot of times people want to be friends with coworkers, and sometimes your coworkers are not your friend.
No.
You know what I
No,
mean?
no, no.
Like you said, we're
you
talking-
said sometimes coworkers are not your friends?
Sometimes you
All
could
the
click.
time.
I'm sure
Your
you've clicked with some rappers that, you know, I mean, you could have dinner with or something like that in like 10 years, or bring over the kids to play some shit
That'll
like
make
that.
them your friends. That's your associate.
No,
They could be
you
your
can-
associate.
You can build a friendship.
There's an
with
association of.
So maybe it's just me. Maybe
Let me
it's
tell you
just me.
something. Honestly, like rappers are weird. Musicians are weird. So it's one of them ones where it's like, and people know, because it's like, I'm pretty transparent. I'm like this whether I'm sitting with the King of England or, you know, somebody from the block. It is what it is. I'm always the same. So it's like when we link up, I don't code switch. I don't really change up my values, morals, ethics, principles, and what I believe in. So it's like, that's why I can sit down in a room with people and it's like, it doesn't really matter who it is. Like I, generally speaking, from there's a mutual respect, I'm good.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I'm also not going to sit in the room where you're going to try and disrespect anybody from where I come from.
Absolutely.
Or like disrespect my people's, like, so it's like, I'm not going to participate on that level where some people will say some shit for some clickbait or whatever, because, you know, the reality is that me and Drake been cool for a long time. Anytime I see him, this love, you know what I mean? Me and him don't have no issues. Shout out to Chubbs. Shout out to the whole clique, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
it's also not your beef. So, you know, it's like you said, it's like,
I know, but here's the reality though. And I get it to a certain point, to where it's like, it really depends. Like sometimes if me and you are somewhere and it's like, if we're really tight and there's somebody over there where it's like somebody on the other side, to where you're like, yo, you know, I don't fuck with this person. And I'm not talking like on some lightweight shit. I mean, like, you know that more time, like, I don't fuck with that person.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that there should be a discussion about not fucking with that person, but there's got to be dialogue to say, hey, listen, you know what? I understand that. I respect that. And yo, you know what? I don't really, depends on the situation. But, you know, I could be like, yo, I could see how you feel that way. But as a big man, I also say, yo, this beef that you guys have, I understand why you're mad.
Yeah.
But me personally, like, you know, that's my brethren, and I may not agree with everything that he says, but at the same time, it's like,
that's my man.
That, you know what I'm saying? That's my guy. And that happens in real life outside of rap shit.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Where sometimes you might be rolling with some people and they're like, yo, that guy's a pussy. Or, you know, I'm like, yo, he's cool. Yo, he's never done nothing to me still, you know.
To me.
You know what I mean? I'm not discrediting
Whatever
your
you
experience is, but yo, honestly, that he's actually been pretty cool to me. And they're like, all right, well, listen, you fuck with him, I don't fuck with him.
Yeah.
Cool. But as a big man, you can have that understanding. You know what I mean?
Until that person shows you that they are pussy hole to you too.
If them a pussy, then you cut them off.
Simple.
Easy.
Simple. Life
That's
is easy
yo.
that
That's
way.
how yo.
I think that
we
was-
make this shit too complicated sometimes.
Like,
You know.
people be looking for reasons to hate somebody rather than just making shit work. So I get that.
I think. Listen, I think at the end of the day, like this entertainment thing, there's so much ego, narcissism, mental health issues. So many things that like the industry, fans, everybody, there's fires happening everywhere. They take super soakers and they're just shooting gas into the fire.
It makes a lot of money for a lot of people.
Yo, it's money and entertainment until things get serious.
But even then, it's still money.
I know, but it's disgusting to me.
It's sad, but somebody dies, the numbers go up. You know what I mean?
Which is disgusting.
Sad.
But I think
scary,
again, for me though,
to be in.
that is why, just the way that I was raised, that's why I don't participate. You know what I'm saying? And I don't feel no type of way about that, to where it's like, you are not necessarily, sometimes, but you're not necessarily gonna see me in the mix just with a lot of people, because it's just like I'm cool. Like, you know what I mean? For me, I wanna protect my energy, and I don't wanna get in the mix of a lot of stuff. Because the other dope thing is that, like, we've also lived through a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
God has covered me in all those situations, you know what I'm saying, and kept me whole. And I think he did that so that I can be somebody that people can hear, watch, learn from to say, oh shit, okay, cool. You're saying I don't have to fuck with everybody just because I get into the industry? No.
You're a genius, and let me tell you why.
Why?
Which is the perfect segue into your new single.
Yes, tell us about your single, my brother.
So this is the wildest, but this is fun because I don't think I've told this story publicly yet.
Okay.
So before you guys say, hey, exclusive, wait till the story is done because you're going to be like, Kardi, that's fucking weird. So, yes, get ready. So myself, shout out to Mark Strong, shout out to Viv, shout out to Shireen, Jem. God rest his soul, we were headed to a funeral of a legendary rapper who actually, I think they had to retire him because he killed. Remember on BT 106 in Park, what did he say? Freestyle Friday?
Yes.
Murdered it. You know what I'm saying? Represented us. He killed everybody. Bishop Bergante. That was my birthday twin. You know what I'm saying? He was born on May 11th as well. But, you know, he passed away from cancer so recently. But, you know. But he's going to be looking down laughing at this story. So we all wanted to go to the funeral together. It was like 45 minutes outside of Toronto. So we all wanted to roll together because we knew we would make it more lighthearted and it wouldn't be too heavy.
Right.
Yada, yada, yada. We get into this story of, they're like, you don't know what soaking is? I was like,
oh my God.
I was like, what is soaking? What
the
are you
Mormon thing?
Yes.
Oh my Jesus.
I was like, what are you talking about? What is soaking?
Yo.
And they're like, yo, it's when the Mormons, like, it's like them having sex without movement.
Yes.
And I was like, what? How does that work? So for all the listeners out there, apparently what happens,
break it down, please, my
is the man will go on top of the woman and penetrate but not move. And according to what they believe in, or what was told to me and what I read online and so forth, is that there's a third party that will come and shake the bed so that the movement is happening, but technically because they're not moving, it's okay.
Yes. And you know that person charges.
Say yes.
The person
the third, yes,
money.
They pay the third person.
This is insane.
That is what soaking is. And listen, we're going to a funeral. I'm crying with laughter. I'm like, what are you talking about?
You know what the wild thing about that whole idea of soaking is? How arrogant you have to be to think that you could like finesse God. Like God has made rules about adultery and fornication. You're like, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna set up a racket where I'm not gonna put it in all the way. I'm gonna just put it in kinda, and then I'm gonna have my mans jump on the bed,
right,
so that we could finesse God. Because it's not sex, because I ain't necessarily doing it, but my mans is jumping on the bed.
Insane.
God's gonna not even know what happened. It's crazy.
I might as well just do the thing.
That's people, the arrogance that one must have to feel
that
like
inspired the
God
song?
is nuts.
That inspired the song.
That is hilarious.
R.I.P.
That's hilarious.
Shout out to the ultimate champ from Nigeria, from Lagos. Shout out to TUC. The beat was
perfect for soaking.
Beat was the beat.
He was the one shaking the bed.
That
while you did the song, he shook the bed.
I'm just saying, if you see
I've never been on a bed where a next man is shaking it. So no. We're gonna go.
He shook the song. He shook the song.
You're gonna look at your analytics, see mad streams from Utah. Mad streams from Salt Lake. They're gonna use that song as the Sundance. That's the Sundance official.
He gets us.
City.
The drop gonna be shake the bed.
Shake the bed. Bobby Trends.
Oh, shake the bed, Utah! Shake the bed!
Nah, we need you to record that drop.
Yo,
shake the bed, Utah might do numbers out there without you
knowing. This is the funniest episode.
Yo, it's shot. So,
this is funny.
So, shout out to Ocean Banks. She's one of my favorite singer-songwriters, although you will never see her face because she loves her anonymity.
Okay, salute.
But I sent it to Ocean Banks, and she sent me back this idea, and I was like, huh. So, before that, I said soak was the idea.
Mm-hmm.
She sent me back this hook, and I said, yo, put this part in here, soak, whatever. So we wrote the hook together. Mm-hmm. And then she wrote Rotimi's Rotimi's verse.
Shout outs to Ro.
And
Nigerian brother.
You know what I'm saying? Nigerian butterscotch.
He's been on this show, actually. He was one of our earlier...
We were with him. We shot the video last week in Jamaica.
That's amazing.
It's wild because he's like, no, was it TUC or was it Rotimi? One of them, they're like, yo.
TLC produced it?
No, TUC produced it. Yes, okay. The Ultimate Champ. So that's why at the beginning of the song you hear champion. That's his. Oh, got it. That's his drop.
I think this is like one of the only singles that I know I've heard Ro on that Harmony didn't produce.
Fair.
Which is interesting.
Shout out to Harmony.
Yeah, Harmony's great.
Harmony is the one that put it together.
Oh.
Loose.
Oh, wow.
Still involved.
Hold on. Time out. We're talking about Sogan. So he is not the third party.
Okay.
He's not the third party.
Okay. He made his money in other ways.
Hey. So anyway,
that sounds like a harmonious collaboration.
Mr. Samuels. But so anyway, long story short is, you know, me and Ocean Banks did the thing. You know, Ro heard it, is like, oh man, like he killed it literally the next day. Yeah, like it's one of those special ones though. It's a like,
I'm just saying, when you get called Brigham Young or Brigham Young with that Mormon University, when they hit you up,
is that where we're going back to?
I'm just saying, if they hit you up,
hey man, we'll go out there.
I was thinking about?
Get paid.
We should sell waterbeds out there. Bring
you
back
can
waterbeds.
See, look at man's.
One shake gonna move about 3 different ways.
I don't want to be involved.
I'm just think about it. Hello,
who's shaking it though?
That's their part.
Yikes.
That's their part.
Yikes.
We just selling the waterbeds.
Who's shaking it is crazy.
Waterbeds, you go out to the dorms or whatever. Who's shaking it is crazy.
That is wild. Who's shaking it is crazy.
Insane.
But yeah, let's talk about that after.
That's where Soul came.
Speaking of who's shaking it is crazy.
Oh no.
What's the wildest thing you've experienced being in the industry your entire career? What's the wildest thing you could think of?
You don't have to answer this.
Yeah, or we can just,
because who's shaking this going into wildest thing?
It's very insane.
We like alliteration. I figured I'd pay respect to someone that does that for a living.
Talk to shit.
Stuff that I would actually say, I think is one of the coldest things that I've ever seen. Me and the Konvict crew, we were going from London to Paris by train, and I think Con was with one of his women at the time, and I remember somebody came around and said, "Hey, yo, you're whatever," paraphrasing, but your other woman is she's here.
Wow.
He didn't break a sweat, and she came and he held both of their hands. And he just walked. Cool.
Doesn't he have like? Never mind. I'm not gonna ask that.
That's
question.
a good family.
That
family
to me,
values.
I'm not gonna ask.
To me though.
Yeah.
Like seeing, and it's not. And here's shout out to my wife. This is not something to where I was like, oh, I wish I could do that, or something I want to implement.
No,
but
he's been.
When you're talking about like some of the wildest shit, that was. But when you meet his dad, you'll understand, because his dad is also the 100%. Coolest ever. I remember when I met him, and Akon was like, "Hey, yo, Dad, this is, what I was talking about. This is Kardi." And he's like, "Hey, Kardi."
Their whole family is dope. Kardi is the sister, right?
No,
his father is.
I can't remember what his father's name is.
But Kardi, there's Kardi, there's Boo, there's Omar.
Yeah,
their whole family is really dope.
But Con is definitely, like, put it this way. I remember when we linked up that time in Atlanta, and we're getting to know each other, and I'm like, so what are your, he's like, he doesn't drink, he doesn't smoke. I'm like, come on, bro. Everybody has something.
Was this his wearing all white season? I know there was a season where he was wearing
No. This is still like white t-shirt and random jeans season. But he is like, yo, women. Yeah. He's like, women are my vice.
That's not the highest number that I've seen around Con, by the way. You saw too.
I mean, listen.
Being around Con, you'll see him. And they all claim to be who they are.
They are who they are.
Yep.
They are who they are.
Who they are.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, listen.
I don't have the temperance for more than one at a time. I just don't. It's not in me.
At a time.
No,
at a time.
At my big age. Maybe when I was younger and I was a lot more immature.
Man, at a time, you got to pick your words right. Bro.
Yeah, I'm manifesting.
One. At a time.
You got to speak things into existence.
One at a time.
As a born again, all old things have passed away. You feel me? I can't speak to old tune. I can only speak to the tunes. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Big tunes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Listen, there's
yes, thank you for saving them.
I have 3 kids. I have a wife. So
shout out to you.
Those things,
Beautiful
those
shout-
things.
We love,
This is
we
official.
love the beautiful family setting. We love.
Yeah,
love
man.
that.
And I mean, listen, it's like, you know, not just because I'm in the rap game, just as a man,
As a man.
or as the people from VI would say, as man. It's one of them ones where it's like, you know, you go through life. There's some crazy shit that you see.
Absolutely.
Depending on who you are that you experience or whatever, but it's like you just leave it where it is. You know what I'm saying? I think here's what I'm gonna tell you. All jokes aside, besides the Mormons that were hilarious, what Soak is about is we live at a time where it is so weird to me to where dudes don't know how to speak to women in person.
Facts.
Like, listen, we had some of the best times of our lives because when we were younger and we were dating and we were, you know, doing the chase and the whole nine, the reality is that, like, yo, like, you know, in the wintertime, like if you're at a party, you know, we used to take your big jacket and put a girl inside the jacket and you're slow dancing with the girl in the party. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
it never happened today because everybody got a phone in their hand. Would never happen.
But that's what we used to experience, and especially because like we are from the Caribbean, it's like we used to bubble on the wall to where it's like I remember white walls in my house. There's blue circles
from them jeans,
jeans, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like we come from a time where it's like interaction. It was very sexy. Like I love like women, the concept of women, females. I love the intimacy is not there, but you see what I love, and it's funny. Like my wife sent me this message from one of her homegirls that was like, "Hey, yo, I know it's your husband, but she's like, yo, in 9 months from now, there's going to be a lot of pregnant people from this song."
Shout outs to you, helping increase the birth rate.
Hey, listen, if there's only one thing that I do, it's giving back to my community.
Talk about
you know what I'm saying?
Good man.
In a time when maybe the birth rate is going down, I know that is not a thing, but let's pretend that it is. You know what I'm saying? I'm bringing sensuality back.
He's doing the opposite of Thanos. What Thanos did? Thanos was trying to cut them in half. You out here doubling up. We appreciate you, Ken.
It's so funny.
But nah, man, the video. Oh man, people.
When should we expect the video to drop?
To be honest, probably within the next week to 10 days.
So probably by the time this drops.
I think all we have to do is edit out all of the, if you know Rotimi, he made it extra super sexy for the for the gal them. So
that's why he's Nigerian butterscotch.
Hey man, listen, I'll tell you this.
Ladies.
Man, there was some ladies off camera that were like, "Oh, I gotta go to my church meeting tonight, yeah." Because you know what I'm saying. It's a very dope video. Like,
that's awesome.
Shout out to Jamaica.
That's amazing.
Shout out to the Jamaica Tourist Board. You know what I'm saying. It's like we are showing the beauty. It's funny in dancehall's kind of dark right now. Like it's very, very dark. And I rock with, you know what I mean, I rock with some of it, but I think the beauty and the sexiness of the islands more time is going to shine through in this video.
Bring the sexy back.
You know what I'm saying? Every time I say that though, I think of like Timberlake, and I don't want to do that. Yeah. So I got to figure out some other slogan.
Yeah, we need a better phrase. I appreciate you. We don't.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm not hating on nobody, but that's just not what I want to envision.
But that's really what it is, though. Listen, it's a sexy ass song. And when you listen to it, like the women are like, "Yo, this is my joint." Video,
that's fire.
It's incredible. It's really dope. It's really dope.
Shout outs to Soaking.
Jesus. We even got our producer laughing. He's like, "Oh, shit." He's there. Our producer's dying right now.
That man made clouds.
Oh,
Jesus, gross.
Wow.
Did you make church today?
Relax.
There we go. That's why.
Relax. I'll make up for it. It's cool. My God never
forgives.
sleeps.
He forgives. You know?
Yeah. My God don't sleep.
So yeah, we're about to get your
time saying my God doesn't sleep.
We're about to wrap it up.
Yeah.
I see what you did there. We're about to wrap it up.
This is crazy.
You're not.
This is the out of any podcast that I've done. This is the wildest way to end it. Where a man said, "Speaking of God,"
right, and blessing us. Let's talk about your song about.
Let's talk about your sexual song.
The moment's gonna go crazy when I drop.
We didn't even go there. We didn't talk about the subject matter. It's cool.
That's wild.
All right, cool.
I'm happy that you have more new music out. I'm excited to see more new music from you.
New EP. called Every Day Sometimes.
Yes.
That's coming soon.
Yes.
Independent. No pun intended with the coming soon.
Independent. See?
All right, man. I want to
love that. The king of puns.
Please. When is that coming out? Please.
Oh, when is what?
When is your new project dropping, my brother?
September.
September. Okay.
That's great.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's great.
September.
We'll be looking out for that.
Word.
Mm-hmm. No, that was safe. You're good. You're
cool.
good.
Because I choose my words
That's so
carefully,
funny.
man. But yes, thank you so much for dropping by. I know you came straight off the flight.
Yeah, we didn't talk about Def Jam. We
had so much to talk about,
Shout
but the
out to
convo was
Tunde.
so
Shout out to Def Jam.
good. Shout out to you.
How was your before we wrap?
Okay,
How was
okay,
your
yes.
no? We're about to wrap up.
No,
how
go
has
for
your
it.
experience been on the executive side? Like nobody talks enough about how hard it is for artists to go to the executive side. So real quick, like talk about the experience. Like what are some highs, lows, or just in general, what advice do you have for people that are trying to cut through on either side as an artist or an executive, based on your experience?
It's it will it will really expose how much you love the music. It will test you to the point of like there are days when it's like existing and working with a label. It's really like right at the point where creativity and commerce it's either going to mesh or it's going to clash.
Yeah.
And a lot of days it doesn't mesh. And as a creative, I think the only way to become better as a man, as a businessman, as a leader, as a mentor and a mentee is to continuously educate yourself.
Yes.
So sometimes the creative in you wants to be like, fuck out of here. But then as a businessman, you're like, shut up, listen, and learn why people think the way that they think, or try and understand the systems. I remember, shout out to Stephen Marley. Stephen Marley, I remember, because I think this is my 10th year, also doing executive stuff. And I remember at the time, I had gone to Stephen Marley's house and I was telling them about it. I'm like, yeah, they want me to come work for a label. But I was like, label? Like, that's the enemy, bro. And he was like, yo, the only way to change the system is inside.
Yep.
You can't change the system from outside. You have to participate and you have to be that voice at the table. You have to be that person that represents. And even if, there's a big difference between speedboats that can just turn quickly and a cruise ship, that's going to turn slowly. And I think what it is that little by little, I hope that over my tenure at these labels that I was able to contribute something valuable, whether it is signing people that are just based on their gift and their magic as opposed to numbers, and maybe changing the way that somebody looks at signing artists, whether it's specific types of artists, what I'm saying? I don't think, not on purpose, but I don't think I've signed any white artists yet. I think it's so dope that it's like to be able to sign dark-skinned women or sign people, from Ethiopia or Barbados or deal with people from Jamaica or when you're dealing with royalty like the Marleys and Skip Marley or, somebody that nobody is maybe ever heard of before. Whatever those different situations are that I've been blessed to be able to work with, I hope that everybody feels better after having that experience as opposed to being like, fuck it. And the reality though is just the way of the world is that sometimes people, because everybody's journey feels like it's just them on the journey until you understand, until you're like, oh shit, okay, now I understand the what. Like when you're in it, especially as an artist, tunnel vision, and anybody that is taking you off your path is the enemy. So even if somebody is walking with you hand in hand on that path and they say to you, hey, listen to me, I know this is the main path that you see, but I've been here a few times, and if you walk over this way, there's no wolves over this way. There's no traps over this way. Sometimes those people are like, why would I walk with you through the bushes? That's crazy. This is the way. They're like, yo, this guy tried to fuck me up and take me over there. It's not until they walk and they go through all the shit that you told them about. They're like, oh shit.
I get it now.
I understand. But again, as a mentor, you can't take that stuff personally. And as somebody that is really ultimately, I'm always going to be, I haven't said this publicly, but I'm always going to be artist centric, meaning that I gotta defend the artists. You know, before they even get a deal, I'm like, yo, make sure you have good representation. Make sure that you read everything that you're signing, because I also don't want anybody to ever come and turn back to me to say that Kardi gave me a bad deal or whatever. No. I say this with everybody. There's way too much education out there. There's way too many ways for you to have access to the education of the industry to know what's what. You know what I'm saying? But after that point, it's something to where I really want to see the gift. I want to see it thrive and flourish. And again, unfortunately, it's not that easy when it comes to the major labels, but the reality is, you know, if I can get them one step further, or if I can be that catalyst that's gonna, you know, help start their career, then that's something that's amazing to me. And I'm very thankful for all the artists that I've been able to work with, because it's incredible to see some people that might be singing in a little cafe for the rest of their life get an opportunity to where they're even spoken about in the same breath as some of the best people on this planet. So yeah, it's not easy. But for me, it's rewarding. I love it. And I'm very, very thankful to those folks that fight for me, because people are losing their jobs left, right, and center. So for me, not because of the money part, but because of the passion that I have, it's like I still have mad fun working with these people, yo. And that's what it's all about. The day that is not fun, I'm good.
Much respect. And for those that don't know, I mean, Cardinal's not playing when he talks about mentorship, man. As someone that has also transitioned into executive positions in the music business, Cardinal has been a mentor to me for years. And I think when I was at Spotify and leaving Spotify, people were confused when I went to the label side. But literally 90% of what you shared on this podcast, you said to me verbatim when I was trying to make a decision where I wanted to go next. And Cardinal literally hit me and was like, boy, how can you make change if you're not sitting, like if you're not in the room? And you know, and obviously Tunji was another big reason I made the move onto the label side. But I'm grateful, man, just having folks like y'all that have already done it and kind of gave me the blueprint and showed me how to move even when people are getting on your nerves, and doing things on purpose to make your life hard. Keeping a level head. And I'm very grateful to even be able to call you a friend and a mentor. And thank you for joining us.
1,000%. 1,000%.
You
This
know,
was dope.
and for sharing gems for a lot of the younger folks and aspiring, and even the platform.
Anything that you've heard on this, except for the soap conversation.
Yo, our producer is dying in the background. He's having a ball.
Go out there. You know, and I don't want to make it seem like work, but I'm saying like, there's so much fire out there. There's so many experiences. There's so many things that you can like listen to, see, watch, learn from. You know, all the songs that we've spoken about, all this is all out there. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what's dope. That's what's really can be improved in 2025. I think is the fact that it's like when I was younger, I used to go out of my way to like dig in the crates. I used to go out of my way to like learn who these people are, who's that engineer, who's Bob Power, who is this producer, who is all of these different, you know what I'm saying? So it's like
the credits, the liners.
Yeah, the liner notes, but it's like we listened and we learned about the industry and we thought it was dope. Because here's the thing, if this is going to be your life, I don't know who would want to get into any career where they didn't really know what the career was.
Do your research.
I want to become a doctor. Cool. Well, you got to go to med school. Nah. I just want to wear the stethoscope. That's it. I just want to listen to heartbeats. That's it.
Just turn on the EKG. That's all I need.
Yeah.
How do you do this thing?
How do you do the thing? Clear. That's it.
That's
I
it.
just want to learn how to say.
Twice
Am
a
I
week
saying
and
clear
I'm
right?
good.
Am I saying clear right?
That's some point together clear right.
You know what I'm saying?
I just want to know that I'm being perceived. I'm saying it right.
Right.
No, yeah, that's why half of them are in it. So, and that's why half of them don't last. But anywho,
Yeah.
story for another day.
That's
I know
right.
it's fresh off the flight again. Thank you
so much for joining us.
My pleasure. Yo.
You're still on tour. This is the last stop of the tour.
I don't even know. This is not a tour. This is an adventure.
There you go.
So
life
tomorrow
is about the journey.
You got to see him
Not the
live, bro.
destination.
Tomorrow is.
I have.
Oh,
That's
perfect.
what I'm saying. He's a great performer.
Okay.
Like, I'm not saying that to say that. The man's a great performer.
Is Caravana
Yeah.
happening this year?
Yeah.
Okay, so we should make an effort if we can to
Okay.
come out.
I mean, it's next week.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't. Next. Your schedule's a lot more flexible than mine is. I don't want to lie to them. Last time I was at Caravana, I could not hang. I could not hang out.
An honest man. Don't.
I thought you were about to make
No,
that
no,
up.
no. I wasn't. I
say.
wasn't.
But I did one party and I was like, all right, we out. And they were like, yeah, let's go to Fed. Because I was there with my Guyanese brother and he got me, we're throwing powder. And
Shout
I'm
out to
like,
Nat.
Oh yeah,
I'm
Juve.
just-
Yes, sir.
I'm just like, damn. And they were like, okay, so the next thing.
Oh,
I'm
yes.
humbled every time
And
I
that
go
was
to
the
Toronto
first
during
time
Caravana.
I
Humbled.
saw a fake Canadian bill.
Oh.
So this is a fun story, So we're all waiting for food. Obviously, the vendors are out there, and they were like, "Yeah, do you know this? You can't rip the bill."
Right.
All right. So everyone's like, "Oh shit," because it's a bunch of regular local Canadians, and then people all over. This one guy,
Tears and shit.
like, it should just rip. All I know is all the local Canadians just.
You got
Everyone's
funny
like,
money.
"Hey, you got okay."
You got
let's
funny
just-"
money. Yeah, yeah.
Everybody was just like,
We're not
"He
going to
killed
jail."
Something. I have never seen nothing like that.
Yeah.
He was like, "Oh, word."
They're about to deport him to London.
But yeah, no, anyway, Caravana was fun. I don't know if I could do it this year, but thank you again.
Yes.
Shout out to you. Shout out to T-Dot.
Yes.
Shout out to all the songs. coming
Hey,
out
go
there.
stream Soak.
Go stream
Go
soap.
stream Soak.
Pun intended.
Shake the bed.
Shake
Shake
the bed.
the bed, baby.
Shake the bed.
Shake the bed.
Thank you so much for joining us, Cardinal.
Anytime, my bro.
We are grateful.
Appreciate you.
This has been episode 92, y'all.
Peace,
Yeah.
y'all.
Peace, 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 peace.
Word.
Good morning, Canada. It's Rich. It's your boy, Real Rich. As I can meticulously scrutinize and on the Bantally. Bankane. Who be to me have this tongue, what you call it? Bankane? Balcony. Balcony. I have this tongue, my people. Please sit with me. Balcony. Yeah, check out my balcony. This is when I'm by Sample King place right now. I meticulously scrutinize. I'm scared of heights. Oh shit. I'm scared of eyes. But I'm wearing eyes.